shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade. Cloudless, my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, his figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate, fears just of the flesh and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. dawn, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade. Cloudless, my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow, in an everlasting state. The world I contemplate, fears just of the flesh, and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. Madness is my destiny. In the seas of
Tropical Hawaiian shirt.
We are
It's about as
live.
close as I-
Oh,
that's
Are we
close as
live
I can
already?
like,
can
Hello,
say
everybody.
pleasantries live. It's fine.
Thanks for the warning, Tiff.
You're
Cosmic
welcome.
horror film.
At
Guys,
least the conversation has changed.
Well, the conversation will have to change now.
Oh,
Everybody put down the textbooks on the next tantric sex course.
I was
Oh.
just going to ask if there were any
Woo.
cosmic horror porn directors out there that want to make a new film.
Yeah.
Oh, please no.
Galaxy of Terror 2.
There's enough of that online already.
There is the Call Girl of Cthulhu, but I don't know who directed it.
Oh,
I've seen that.
that sounds good.
That's not really porn though.
Hey.
The Call Girl of Cthulhu.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not really porn. It's just like
False advertising.
This is not going to be good for my new job search.
This will get them in.
Oh, okay.
This will get them in. Just add sex to the title of anything.
Yeah,
Sex Call of Cthulhu.
yeah.
Done,
They
and
do-
everybody will tune in.
They do a social media search for my job that I'm interviewing for Wednesday, and they are aware of this stream.
We do not condone anything we've just said. Please forgive us.
No, it was just like sex ad. It was not anything ranchy. We were just
Yeah,
exploring the depth of the
nothing
use
raunchy.
of lube and tissues, which is like a stereotype apparently portrayed in movies, and we were talking
Shut
about
up.
the reasoning behind that.
All right, everyone adjust their volume this time, yeah?
Okay.
well,
okay.
my output is on max, so I can only adjust it.
This is just a
Goes
guess. Would
quieter.
that one person give us a sound check, please, and
Yeah,
let
can
us know that you can hear us all.
Can you
All of
send
those
the
people
link?
that were waiting at the door to start watching.
Send the link in chat so I can check.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You lost the link already, eh? You can go one of the
Yeah.
go to the previous link I posted and then click backwards to the main channel.
I could put it.
Did you get the chat working, Tiff?
I don't know.
Everyone make their luck rolls while we do all this.
Oh,
No, development roles first.
no, luck.
No, just
No,
luck.
there's no development, dude.
But
All right, so I need a fail for every luck roll.
Mm-hmm.
What's my look? Oh God damn it!
I can't find the link. Wait, is it the Eldridge Cocktail Lounge?
Oh hell yeah.
You're a missing link.
Lodge.
I'm
Yes,
getting the
I
link. I
am.
just logging into Discord on the Chrome.
Uh,
All right, I failed luck, and now I've forgotten what to do.
D10.
and add it.
To the luck.
Wow, you
yeah.
failed your look
D10 luck.
again.
I like these
Nice.
dice. These dice are amazing. I told Matt to buy me more of them. Oh, I
You
got a 10
succeeded.
on my luck.
Ah,
Nice.
fucking
Nice.
beauty.
Go suit ball.
Yeah, I'm sticking very close to Tiff today. For some reason,
sure.
Robert wants to hang out with but that couple, as I have
In-game-
actually.
I got 88
In
luck.
in-game handouts, I've posted some pictures of the cathedral and the necropolis and the Bridge of Sighs. And there's a little map of the
Yeah.
area as well in Glasgow, which has all three buildings.
Great those
Pretty
those
decent.
photos, mate.
Yeah.
Even the painting or fine art one is pretty cool.
Hmm?
First one that you put up.
Eldritch Cocktail Lodge.
I just posted the link.
Yeah.
It's confusing me watching that and then trying to listen to us, so
I'm just going to rely on you guys. I'm not
I'm
having a
gonna
look.
stop.
So can you hear you? Can you hear everybody okay?
Neil?
Shall
Oh,
I do
shit. Hello?
random chat? I'm going to check it myself.
Were you able
Yeah.
to hear us all?
I could hear a lot of you. The thing is I was so confused because I had the chat open as well, so I could hear you guys and the video, and I'm thinking, what the fuck's going on? and mind fucky. So I've got to stop. I'm not intelligent enough to deal with that.
Speaking of mindfuck, should we just go straight into the recap?
Yeah.
Oh, before that, I just caught a bit of the stream and tested the sound. If I would rate of these three persons that I've heard at least, Mark would be at 70, Yusuf would now be at 50, and Neil, you would be at like 40 or 30, around that range, on like volume output on the stream.
What about Tiff and Matt?
Well, they didn't say anything. I could
Oh.
catch.
Sorry, but I did turn
No,
my
that's no
volume up.
problem. Okay.
But I tend to keep my microphone muted a lot of the time anyway.
Likewise.
Nobody wants to hear your gurgle.
Who wants to do the recap?
I've got half a recap, and Kev can probably fill in the rest after I get there.
That's
But
good.
just to let you know, I've been listening to the volumes, and Neil, you're woefully low.
I don't know how to deal with that.
No, I don't know either, mate, because can't hear you at all. It's terrible. I'd say about 25%.
Jinkies.
I suggest keep talking into your microphone the best you can.
I will try my best.
Ah!
Yeah, but not like
Not like that.
no one.
Is that too much now?
You're not American either. Remember, you're playing Merlin.
I know who I'm playing. I'm just doing an accent.
Okay.
I've closed that down.
I'm not gonna worry about it. Can you guys hear me okay now, or?
I've
Fine,
got,
you're
Discord,
fine.
actually.
on
That's
Discord.
actually better
Yeah.
than last week.
to be fair, I've
So-
actually got subtitles running on the stream as well, so they can read what we're
that-
saying.
That will help.
They can understand the Scottish accent then.
Aye. Which one? Kevin's, do you mean?
Don't even start. Oof.
Right. Let me give you what I've got. Thaddeus suggested at least 2 assailants. That was the week before, wasn't it? So I think. That's right. It was starting after we wake up at the hotel. All right. The next day we get the papers. We get the the papers so that we've got proof of who we are from the Corporation of Glasgow. We go to the hospital to see Dr. McCullen. He was a bit twitchy and kind of noticed he's a bit of a genius hiding details medically. He's holding back stuff. I'm suspecting personally that he caused the disease, but I'm like that. I'm a little bit too suspicious sometimes. Do we trust his vaccine? Apparently so, because I go straight for it. See, 2 other doctors confirm his strangeness and pass it off as normal because he's always been like that. Aren't all geniuses, they say. And he's got no social skills, which we noticed. I get inoculated, seeing as the staff has already had it, so it can't be that bad. Then we head to the Mitchell Library to see Dr. Althea Montrose, and that's as far as I've got. I seem to remember her being a little bit cagey. She's been away for a little while. I noticed that she must have been convalescing, getting some of her own her head together in some sort of way. What else did she say? Can't remember. Next.
What
Pick it up. Can you pick it up from there, Kev?
I was going to ask, like, what are we dealing with? What's going on in Glasgow? Can you remind us of that?
Okay. Well.
No, can I do that bit? Because
Sure, go ahead.
that's otherwise that's going to be seriously, Neil.
Yeah, for the recap.
Okay, just for the viewers out there, we've been tasked to go to Glasgow to find out why a whole heap of people have been dying recently in the last 12 months under strange, suspicious circumstances that seem extremely satanic in nature. The way they've been dismembered and taken apart, it's quite random. There's no particular victim. Before we arrive, a ship arrives that's got 50 corpses in it. We discover that the tears of Saint Mungo fall to this day in the necropolis,
Cathedral.
the cathedral. Thank you. There was also an outbreak of a disease from around about 4 weeks ago that started around the hospital.
And spread into the slums, the prison.
Which somehow got out of the hospital and spread to the slums.
And the prison.
That's the
Prison.
yes, the slums in the prison. That's the real question. How did it get there?
Newspapers are full of stories of the Glasgow Ripper,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and there's been sightings of werewolves.
Yeah, but yeah, a ripper. That's what they all say. They all like to think that it's just a crazy guy.
Well, so the group does its own thing after going to the hospital and having talked to multiple doctors to get a confirmation that Dr. McCollum is a genius, but a strange one. The rest of the group goes to the library, as mentioned before. But Erwin takes a different path. Erwin goes out basically looking for tracks or any kind of indication of those wolves that were hinted at in the newspapers. Failing to do so, and even getting mocked in the back streets in the suburbs on the east side of town of Glasgow, he does get some confirmation on the fact that when asked about the wolves, the muggers or low ruffians basically confirmed, "Oh, you mean the Ripper?" And basically mean those things are the same in their eyes, at least. Having come to the conclusion that we're not dealing with wildlife, as the nearest forest is like a couple of miles away from the city. The nearest plot of land that could host any kind of wild animal would be the necropolis. On his way back to the group, Irvin checks out the necropolis, and in there he finds tracks, for example, a certain beast that is quite light, but still has like 3 claws. It moves from towards the mausoleum and goes out of the mausoleum. In the mausoleum, there's a door or like a staircase going further down. Being smart, or at least knowing that this thing has at least murdered 18 people over the last 8 months now.
10 months.
10 months. Okay, yes. And the disease was like, an outbreak was like a month ago. For reference. He doesn't go in and just follows the tracks that lead out, going all the way to by the dried up riverbed that goes around I think the chapel or the temple.
The bridge of size, which links the cathedral
Yes.
to the necropolis, it was used for funeral processions and such. The
So,
river,
yeah.
the Molen Dinar Burn, which the Bridge of Sighs crosses, is a dry riverbed, river channel that runs parallel to the necropolis.
Okay. Going from there, not investigating any further than that, he heads back to the group, finding them or finding a note at the hotel, going to the library, where he finds the group going out of the library, but still catching them before leaving it. there they basically go over the information that they both parties found, and I think conclusions were getting made at the end of it that that we might be dealing with ghouls, and that's where I think we left off. You're muted, by the way.
I know
Mark,
that
you muted.
we left off in the library with the lady bursting out of the door at the top.
Mm.
Oh, was it? I thought we'd actually started to leave to head to the necropolis.
Because we were talking about ghouls in the library, and the lady
Ghouls,
opened the
yeah.
door, and then everything stopped.
As if she was going to tell us something.
Cool.
That's right. Yeah, the credits came out of the office.
just
Did
need
you
to get-
find out about the way Lucy Siddons died
Yes, we did.
last session? Because
Oh, what you mean the cutting and then the
The
ripping
autopsy,
apart?
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
mentioned in the recap, was it?
No, it wasn't
wasn't
mentioned in the recap. Along with the bout that night, also a young girl by the name of Lucy Siddons was murdered, and that poor young girl happened to be pregnant. After a thorough medical examination, I noticed that this person wasn't just savagely ripped apart. It began with an incision from an extremely sharp knife, which totally led Thaddeus straight away to say, well, there's got to be at least two people, because, going to cut, why not carry on cutting? And then, something rended her apart after that, but didn't take any organs. We didn't find anything missing, not even the fetus. And the only other thing that was missing was little bits of parts that you'd think would go missing after someone got ripped apart anyway. And her spine was the only thing that was left intact. That happened.
Mm.
And you also got the address of some of the locations of the previous murders.
Yeah, because we discussed whether someone was living at one of the addresses, whether we can realistically go there and do some investigating.
Boogie Boogie. Boogie Boogie.
Search for.
So we start with Dr. Althea stepping out of her office. She looks sharply down at you and she goes, shh, and then carries on with her business.
Right, okay. She came out to say shush, like every good librarian. Were we getting a little bit boisterous, were we, as we were leaving?
Probably.
Probably. Oh, sorry. Right.
I can't remember what time of day it is. It's got to be early afternoon. We can call it early afternoon, I think.
Yeah.
Because you went to the infirmary first in the morning.
Yeah. I have a question to the group.
2 o'clock.
In my notes, I have written theology department bathed in light plus sounds for 90 seconds. Dr. Alfonso Don Rios from Spain went missing. What the fuck does that mean? Does anyone have a clue?
That was a plot hook we found going researching in the library, looking for other weird events. I think that maybe cropped up in the newspapers.
Right.
Correct.
Weird events from around this time.
Uh-huh.
So
more stuff to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Sigh.
Unrelated though, since it was 7 years ago.
Well,
yeah, that
you say unrelated, but
that was in 1919. That event.
1919.
Oh, end of the Second World War. First World War. What else? Didn't the Spanish flu start then? 19, isn't it? 1919 until 1921. Spanish flu.
Like
It sounds to me like someone summoned Dale off, but that's just me.
So where are you going? It's we'll call it late afternoon, early afternoon.
I think we
Uh,
decided to go to the necropolis.
Necropolis, yes. What are we investigating here, gentlemen and ladies? I mean, what's our main leads? I haven't got a grip on anything at the moment. Does anybody have?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sure there's stuff I forgot to mention that happened that she said in the Mitchell Library, but because I was listening to it all, I didn't get a chance to write it.
Oh,
Mm.
we were talking about potential ghouls being at the necropolis.
Yes, yeah, led from what she was saying, I'm sure, but also, isn't it a case of, oh, it all stems in the graveyard?
Well, I myself have never seen a ghoul. I've only heard of them from tales of like Devon and Tulip, from when they were back in Irem. And I think in America they
And
mentioned it once
America
or
as well.
twice, but
Hmm.
I've never seen a ghoul. What are we dealing with? If it is a ghoul, and do we want to be walking into its abode?
I think a good time of day to suss out the area is during the daytime rather than the evening, at the very least.
Have you got Cthulhu Mythos skill,
Yes.
Merlin?
Merlin, he does. He has 15 in Cthulhu Mythos.
Make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
Okay. Fail. Oh no, I rolled disguise. Hold on, sorry, wrong roll. Fail anyway. There.
Not only do you can't look like one.
No idea what they are. I mean, if we think ghouls are a suspect here, I mean, yeah, perhaps. Don't we have this woman who just shushed us? Doesn't she have a library? Maybe she has some knowledge of ghouls, what we could be dealing with.
You already asked her about gaining
No,
access.
we asked her about getting access to the library, but we had no real knowledge of what we wanted to check out in the library. But now we do.
That's
Now we
because
know that
I
we
think
might
I think I passed my Cthulhu Mythos roll that last time to get that information.
for the ghoul.
Hmm.
To be
See?
associated with what?
The whole doggy graveyard
Yeah.
ripping apart
Oh, that's
people,
right.
making them dead.
Yeah.
I also seem to remember her saying something like, you're going to have to be a bit more specific, and you can't look at my books yet until you know what you're looking for.
Right.
Do you
Now we
remember that?
do. Yeah, now we do know what we're looking. Well, we might know what we're looking for.
Well, you
And
know, we've
that's
only just walked out of a library.
well, I thought
And
that's why she
suddenly
was
we know.
coming. I honestly thought that's
Yeah.
why she was coming through the door because we were talking so loudly about Mythos.
Yeah, me too. And ghouls specifically. I don't trust her shush. I walk back, knock on her little door if she's in another room, or I walk towards her if she's there.
Well, she's not in her office because she left her office.
Right.
She's up a ladder, sorting out some books
I'll say,
in the
madam,
general library.
we've now come to the conclusion we know exactly what we want to look through in your specific and ancient library.
She raises her eyebrow and she goes, "So soon?"
Yeah, so soon, one of our members, she had a revelation, perhaps you could say.
Please carry on.
Yep. So, do you have any information on what one might? And he kind of looks around, kind of lowers his voice, and says, "Information on a thing called a ghoul."
Quite possibly. Let me just
Roll some dice.
roll some dice. Yeah.
She kneels on the floor, takes out her favourite felt purse.
Chicken bones thrown on velvet.
That's a reference that I don't get, but okay.
Isn't it like a voodoo way of like divining the future? Chicken bones.
All sorts of shamans of any type, South
Not-
American, North
not-
American,
Not
bones,
something I've looked into
Celts.
personally, but I'm sure you'll be able that there's some information that can be gleaned in my library. Yes, such a
Would you
subject.
mind? Would you mind if we look now?
Very well. Who's to do the research?
Have a check.
All of us.
I can't
I'd love
have
to
I can't have you all traipsing through
Okay.
the library. There's too many of you.
Well, I'm quite good in the library. I can find out as an officer of the law.
Well,
Guys,
Thaddeus and I are pretty
gentlemen.
good at researching.
I've only
Okay.
got a 55. So if you guys have got better, do it.
50.
Oh,
67.
What are we looking at? Library?
20.
Library use.
library use.
45.
20.
And if you don't
Oh,
need my
that's-
specific help, then I think it'd be okay if two of you can be there at the same time.
Who's the best at
Otherwise,
research?
it's me and one of you.
It's
If you
all
wish
down to
my-
the
if-
role, though.
if
At the
you
end
wish
of the
my help.
day,
I don't know who you're pointing at, Thaddeus.
Robert.
Prob-
Is it Merlin? I keep thinking
Mm.
it's a different name.
Merlin,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You,
oh, yeah.
you want to point the other direction then?
No, it's that way on my screen anyway.
No,
That- that's
pointing
Robert.
you're pointing to Robert.
Merlin's on your other side.
Robert's pointing to Kevin. I'm pointing
It-
to Robert.
It's all swapped on my.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's everywhere.
This is why I want the
See,
names.
I got Tiff, Matt, and I got Kev, Yusuf, Neil, and I'm at the
If you put
fifth
your
square.
cursor over the Discord windows of everyone, the names come up
Gotcha.
Mm. Oh,
like
yeah.
a tooltip.
So it does.
I say our two best
Anyhow-
researchers should go in.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Done my fair share of reading.
It's down to the roll, though. So 50 is only 5 less than mine. I'd say go for it, Matt.
Come on,
Just need to-
Thaddeus.
I'm just
Hey.
like all over the place too much. So
I'll be with you, Thaddeus. Don't worry.
I'm more worried about
So-
dice rolling.
Merlin and Thaddeus are going into.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
always go in afterwards.
Yeah, we can swap out.
Elizabeth and I can also go in afterwards. You know,
Mhm.
there might be something that you missed. You know,
Oh, trust me, there will be, knowing me and
Oh,
dice roll.
yeah.
Already passed my luck roll, so that's not improving.
Yeah, I passed mine too. Okay, I'm going to roll now. Because...
yeah. Pass
Oh, I
mine.
rolled a 2.
What are you specifically looking for?
So, I personally looking for information on ghouls and lore on ghouls. So not necessarily about ghouls in this area, but ghouls in general. So what are they like? You know, do they have morality? Do they like certain things? Like, you know, aside from eating dead bodies, do they? Is it,
Painting.
you know, yeah, just painting that one guy. But yeah, just their lore. I didn't want to say that, but yeah. Do they like painting?
I want to
Burrowing
meet the
into
sculptor
dreamlands.
ghoul and the
Yeah.
ghoul that makes weapons and
Anything about
Cooper.
Dreamlands? Yeah.
a Wainwright. Imagine
So
a ghoul.
ghouls in general. Yeah. For
Yeah.
you. And Thaddeus, are you searching for
Um,
anything?
I was hoping to do something a little bit different, but it depends whether I've only got a regular success, whether I'll be able to do this or not. Because if we're both looking at the same subject, I don't want to cover the same ground necessarily.
Mm.
But I'm almost more interested in seeing if this might be a combination of spot hidden and library use. Looking to see if there are any telltale signs as to what she's been looking at more recently.
Mm.
Looking to see if there's any pages which maybe books have been lent open for a particular way, that the spines are slightly cracked on certain books, they've been open on particular pages too long. Certain bits are discolored. Hey, snap! There we go.
Okay. Yeah, you can go for that.
Are they sweeties?
Yeah, honey liqueur or JD honey liqueur chocolates.
They're filled with JD in the middle.
Oh, they sound very nice.
They are pretty good.
Oh,
I remember as a little boy, I found
jealous.
liqueurs fascinating because they were like little bottles of of spirits. Oh yes, I got my hands on a few.
They're also the more tasty ones as well.
I've
Mhm.
I've got a really good alcohol tolerance. I don't get
Okay.
headaches, basically.
Yeah,
I
me
don't get
neither.
hangovers.
Yeah,
Lucky,
me neither.
Lucky bastard.
lucky.
Yeah, even now. So yeah, I'll put it down to the fact that I was almost weaned on the stuff.
Yummy.
Yummy, Tiff. Ooh.
Bear with me a second.
It's a chocolate that burns your mouth when you eat it.
It's not
Yum.
that
Oh,
bad.
that's the best stuff, isn't it? Lets you know
Chocolate
it
that
lets
burns
you
your
know
mouth.
it's there. Fights all the way down.
It's a liqueur.
Yeah. Less
Liqueur.
filth. Less of that filth.
Yummy.
Okay. Ghouls first. What did you get? An extreme?
Yeah, I rolled a 2. Not bad.
Ghouls out for summer.
Yeah, nice.
So it was dead air. I had to
Ghouls
throw it in.
out forever.
Well, generally ghouls can be found living in tunnel
No, I
systems.
don't care what they're found and whatever. I want to know what they're like. Like that's. what they're
Well,
about.
they're described as loathsome humanoids, rubbery skin, hoof-like feet, canine features, claws.
And have they ever, in what I've read, I did get an extreme. Is
Yeah.
there any like knowledge of them communicating? Like, have they got intelligence like a human, or not?
Some have been known to have. Generally, they don't have a lot of intelligence, but some have been known to be abnormally intelligent. And it has been that there have been incidents in the past where humans have interacted with ghouls for nefarious reasons.
Was there ever transactions made?
What do you mean by transactions?
Well, like, is there ever like in her books, is there ever like a example of where a human has gone and given like an offering or something to appease the ghouls?
They're not. They're they're not really worshipped. They're more a creature that dwells in the shadows of civilization.
In the same way that I could perhaps give a wild dog some meat and it might like me for a few minutes, perhaps trust me, it might begin to trust me because I've given it meat or water and I've shown body language that will show that I'm not a threat. Has there been any...
All that is possible,
Okay,
or not impossible.
not impossible, yeah.
You've heard stories from Devon and Tulip. They the one that they met was an intelligent being in charge of a pack, if you like,
Mm,
and he was teaching humans art.
mm.
So there have been collaborations between humans in the past. It is possible for sure, and also humans have been known to transform into these beasts.
Right.
Not like a werewolf, not like lycanthropy, like a permanent one-way transformation.
And in the text that I'm reading, does it appear like the ghouls like a certain thing? I mean, do they eat is dead bodies their favorite like thing? Do they eat
Uh,
that, or so if we came with a dead person's arm, we could like chuck one at it and it might like us or trust us or not attack us?
they feed on dead bodies. They're not really known to kill for feeding,
Hmm. Okay.
which is why a lot of them can be found in tunnel systems underneath graveyards, big cities.
The necropolis.
Witches are known to commerce with ghoul.
Hmm.
Something that you said a second ago that you might be able to know, Neil, with your role, just sort of like saying it out loud here. Otherwise, I'll go in and have a look. You said that humans can sometimes turn into ghouls. What else? What other creature on this planet is known to become a ghoul? You said like, well, humans are known to become ghouls, as along with the list of other creatures that have been known to become ghouls. Sophie, please calm down.
The legends regarding humans becoming ghouls are the only sort of stories that of non-ghouls becoming ghouls. Ghouls are generally they're like
A corrupted human, for want of a better thing. Is
Yeah.
that basically it?
Or they could corrupt humans. You could get the same.
All I'm getting to is that it's only humans that can become ghouls.
Hmm.
I sense the seed of a scenario in that I may well develop at some point. Because
Or
having that corrupting influence that turns mythos creature into a ghoul version of mythos creature sounds like an interesting path to go.
holy
You're welcome.
shit.
And it's
TM.
live recorded just in case no one else thinks about it.
That's
True.
right. And you're very welcome to it. And I hereby relinquish anything that you might make. And I hope you go outstandingly over the top and global mega books.
If you like, I can ask you, Robert, to make a folklore roll.
So I guess that I'm like saying all this shit out loud, and so this allows Robert to make the folklore roll.
Based on the
The
Yeah.
shit I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So will that folklore, that'll be the value that we spoke of earlier on? Oh no, that was folk medicine.
Um,
I mean, you're right in saying that he'd have folklore, but it isn't written down, bud, to be honest.
Well, does that mean Thaddeus has folklore skill? Because he's a folklorist, isn't he?
I just took the occult skill because that generally covers it.
Yeah, make it an occult.
An occult roll,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Yep, because I've got a decent value for that. So yeah, that is all mixed in with it. Nice one, lads.
That's quackers.
But we can say that most of your occult knowledge is folklorish.
Folklorish and failed.
Okay.
I might have to go in then and do my own research.
Okay. Anything else with that extreme you want to get out of me?
With regarding ghouls
Yeah.
specifically. So I think I've learned what they like to eat, that humans can turn into them, that they can be intelligent, but that's an abnormality. Any instances of ghouls being felled by people, and how did they kill the ghoul? Like, is it like, does silver kill them? Salt, rock salt, shotgun shells.
They don't have any particular weakness.
So anything will hurt them. It has the same vulnerabilities anything else has.
Hmm.
Unless you're saying it's got a resistance
Yeah,
or something.
they don't have any particular weakness, strengths
Yeah.
or weaknesses.
Yeah.
And do they
wounds from their claws most probably become diseased if not treated.
this might be influenced by Pickman's model, but do they have any culture at all? Like, has there ever been known that they have a language? Someone's written, oh, they have it seems like they have clickings and hissings that they do, and it
Gib-
seems like a language.
Yeah, they
Gibberings and meepings.
Yeah,
gibberings and meeping.
gibberings and meepings.
Gibber or gibber. Hmm.
They have like a pack mentality, but they their intelligence is above animal intelligence.
Mm.
So not great social.
Comparable to humans, and some have been known to use magic.
I relay this to everyone in the room.
But what else can be a ghoul? Is it just humans that can be ghouls? Is that what you found
there's
out?
no accounts of any other creatures becoming ghouls.
Right. Okay.
They all seem bipedal. Maybe
Okay.
monkeys, but put a monkey near a ghoul, see if it corrupts it.
So ghouls are people that have been corrupted.
No,
Well, that's not necessarily
that's
true.
not necessarily true.
Robert.
What creates a ghoul?
It is law suggests that it's possible for a human to transform into a ghoul over a prolonged period of time.
How?
Unknown.
What's how, Merlin? How?
Just some form of corruption. I don't know.
What created the first ghoul then? Where did they come from?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's
You know what I
well,
mean?
depends if it's in the scenario, but I can think of a few things that you can that could throw in there with an extreme success.
Oh.
By all means, I can't really sort of hold back on an extreme success.
Okay. Well, there's two potential ways. There's reference to something that's called the unspeakable oath, which is which is called upon that has connections to this transformation in turning into a ghoul. And there's also potential there might be a connection that ghouls worship Mordigian, and that given Mordigian is the representation of death in the mythos, that there is a connection between that god and corpses. In particular, it sees corpses as like the provender, the domain of that particular god. That ghouls that have a very close kinship and worship of that deity. But then you get into religious schisms. There may be some that follow that particular path, and others that can spurn away from it. So you have a kind of religious dichotomy that goes on inside ghoul society as well.
There's also information that I didn't give Robert because he didn't make his occult roll that the extreme might have picked up from Merlin's role.
Was it the unspeakable oath? He said.
Yeah.
Is that some angle of thought believe that the folklore myth of changelings, fairies stealing young babies, leaving a wild thing in its place. Some say that the changelings are ghouls in their infancy.
Wow.
And that has been used. That particular aspect has been used in another scenario. I've played it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all I can glean, Robert.
Right.
I'd like to know what Thaddeus came up with. Anything interesting?
My 42 is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, but is only a regular success.
Regular success on library use.
Yeah, but it was also trying to look for seeing what she had been researching more recently.
Make a spot hidden roll. Don't forget to tick your skills when you succeed.
I've already got a tick.
Yeah, likewise.
But if you wanted it as a combined roll, 42 would pass library use and spot hidden because they're both the same level anyway.
It's up to you if you want to gamble and see if you get better than a regular.
Is it
I'll
a
try.
gamble? Yeah. Why not?
But
Because like it's only
but
going
it's
to have
one or the
regular
other,
anyway.
not both.
Oh,
I got 31, which is still a regular.
Okay.
damn.
There's a few books that have been sort of regularly used,
Thumbed.
thumbed. In fact, there's a book on a reading lectern. It kind of it's a bit out of place because it's not really a book that you would normally associate with this kind of library. This was something that can be regularly found in a regular library. But it's a history of the Clyde River, and there's a few pages with bookmarks in dealing with
The deep ones.
the area around the shipyards.
Okay, so she's been looking at that.
Yeah, Dagon's involved. I know it.
You deep one Glaswegian, it's a bit hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, it's quite similar.
Very.
Apologies to all you Glaswegians out there.
Yeah, but you know it's true.
So, Merlin, you just mentioned that the ghouls have hoof-like feet.
Oh, yes, Irvin. Where the hell did you come from?
Oh no, that's
Sneaky
it's.
old
I
fellow,
mean,
you, ain't you?
Been here the
bitch.
whole time.
Yeah.
There's like a dirt track coming upstairs into the private library. I came from there.
Was you born in a barn, sir? Did you not wipe your feet before coming in?
I did, but it never
That's not-
gets all of it. But anyway, so you said hoof-like feet, but I saw claw-like feet prints in the dirt track in Necropolis, like
Claw.
three claw-like footprints.
Maybe it's a misnomer in the book. But it still could be ghouls.
No, that's true. Most likely.
I mean, could you think of anything else?
I mean, I only had one Mythos experience. I'm not that far in the world. Sorry.
Likewise.
And just so you know, being born in a barn means you don't shut the door behind you, not traipse in dirt with your feet.
Yeah, but they're also dirty fuckers. They don't give a shit. So it works.
No, I'm just
It
saying,
works. It works.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
It does. It does.
No, it doesn't. Born in a barn? No, it doesn't. Because if you're born in a barn, you don't care what you've got on your feet, do you? You just got to walk into your barn.
Yeah, with shit
It's
all
a
over your
barn.
feet. Exactly, like he's doing now. Shut it. Okay.
You shut it.
Yeah. Someone
To
else
be
do it
fair, I only take my boots off in my own home, so you know.
now. Yeah.
And he
just
wiped his
cleanliness.
feet on a metal bar.
Wait, no, he didn't. His feet are fucking filthy. Robert, are you
I remember him
mad?
saying that he looked for something
Were you born in a barn?
to wipe his feet.
Let's not get.
Oh, you mean
into
was I
this.
born? You mean was I born yesterday?
This
Honestly, gotta get him
further
right.
research that you've performed at the Mitchell Library has added an extra hour or so to the time spent. So I'm now going to call it late afternoon.
Well, 3 o'clock. You
Okay.
said early
Yeah,
afternoon. You can take the rip 3 hours off us. Yeah, 3 o'clock. Fine.
midnight.
So did Thaddeus read the book she checked out, the about the Clyde, or did he just notice that? Because I was an hour reading a book, and he was
So
checking.
you find a book on the lectern, bookmarks. Yeah, I suppose I'll allow you to have a library use roll, to work out what specifically, by collating the different bookmarks, and find out if she's looking.
No, I miss it by 1868.
Darn.
You still got us to go in.
Mm.
I could have a look at that book.
Tag, you're up.
So the lectern, you say?
Yeah, that one over there.
Wait, hold on. You
Tag team library library exploitation.
I,
Yeah, she
I-
says only two of us at a time. So you two go in first, then
Yeah, she
me
didn't
and
give us a time limit,
Elizabeth.
did she?
She
didn't
never
say,
said-
"Oh, you've got an hour."
She said only two. No one else can get. She never said anything. Just
you're
like
you're exploiting her
Generosity.
Generosity, yeah.
yeah.
Well, let her come in and tell us off. Until
I-
then, do it.
do remember making an extreme in my persuade last week.
Make a luck roll.
I shall make a look roll.
Yeah, that's fair.
It would be extremely gracious of you if you would let us have a little peruse, as Elizabeth and I. It's hard.
Okay, then luckily you have enough time before you close it.
Actually, success, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look roll is
success.
just a success.
You
Yeah.
have enough time the library closes to have a look.
Oh, great.
What are you looking for?
Mm.
Are you looking?
I'm looking at the book on the lectern that he pointed out that seemed to be something to do with the waters and the docks.
Yeah,
Shall we have a...
it's a history of the River Clyde, and it's got bookmarks relating to the part of the Clyde by the docks, by the shipyards.
Radio, that. I guess you could either help us, Elizabeth, or have a look for something yourself that might you might be interested in. I don't know.
Nothing's coming to mind. I can help you look.
So I'm gonna have a gander. Oh, beauty!
Library is.
Yeah, it's a hard. There's no way
Hard.
that 19 is an extreme for me. So yeah.
There's some handwritten margin notes. One of the pages relating to the River Clyde. The words pollution, poison, can this be the cause? What is the thing in the Clyde?
So I rolled library used to try to help him, and I got a 004, which is an extreme success.
Okay, she seems to be researching on researching on something that lives in the Clyde by
Looking for a
where the
beast.
shipyards where the shipyards are. She calls it the thing in the Clyde.
Nessie took a holiday.
She seems one line of her research is, could it have been caused by pollution and poison,
Poison.
from the local the heavy chemical industries that the river that grew on the riversides. There's references to no fish live in this part of the river.
Well, how long has that been? Like, fish not living in this part of the river since time immemorial, or recently, or 400 years ago?
This decade,
This decade?
yeah.
And do we have any idea of what's pouring it out? Would it be like, a tanner's?
Oh, the chemical industries. There's been 100 years of industrialization on the banks of the River Clyde, so all sorts. In particular, around the Glasgow area, heavy chemical industries.
There's no notes or anything that
Um,
theorizes what it could be, what the thing is.
waste, toxic substances. No, she hasn't. There's no. You can't find any definite theories on what it is. Her main question is, it's repeated in her margin notes. What is the thing in the Clyde? It seems quite obsessive.
Is there any mention of the boat and the corpses
Huh?
in any of the margins or anything?
Oh, no.
You don't
She's linked
find
it.
anything regarding the boat, but the most recent entry in the margin is a question mark boat and connect. Is it connected? Question mark.
Mm. I presume Elizabeth like recounts all of this as she's finding her
I
all
hope
the
so,
info.
because it'll be
Yeah.
hard not to meta all that
Yeah.
information.
Then I'll say, well, the only person to ask like what the thing is the woman herself, what she thinks it is. But then we'll have to admit that we've been through her personal
No, it's not personal
It's
though, is
quite
it? It's,
evident
Of her.
to Elizabeth, at least. It's quite evident that the writer of these margin notes doesn't have a clue what this thing is, and is obsessed with finding out.
but it isn't personal information because it's in a book. She said we can have a look at.
Yeah, I guess.
So if you want to discuss it, but it's quite clear she hasn't got a clue.
I'm sure she would have stopped
mean-
us.
Sure, okay. Yeah, you're both right, but like, why is she so interested in this? I mean, what's got her to be interested in such a thing?
Well, I'd be interested in it if I was vaguely mythos connected and
You'd
50
be
mysterious.
You'd be interested in lack of fish being in a river.
No,
Yeah,
I'd be
that's
interested.
that's
No,
so
I'd be
interesting.
I'd be interested in finding out about the poison and that it's polluted, and I'd probably find out and wonder what the hell it is that's in that river myself.
So she's a
There is
eco-activist.
mention of disappearances near the
What?
river that might be connected as well.
No, she's into mythos. She
Yeah,
she knows
she's
the
not an
ways of the
eco-activist.
supernatural. She's
Why
not.
would she be interested in the fish being disappearing from the Clyde?
No, but it means something that they're not there. Not that she's gonna try and
Not just fish.
repopulate.
People have gone missing as well in the environment.
She's not trying to repopulate the river with fish. She's not an environmentalist, if that's what you're saying.
I'm
She's just
asking why
looking at
she's interested.
what's changed, which you would look at. What's changed? Why is it different? Is there a difference? And what she's noticed is that.
That people, again for the third time, people have been missing in that
Yes,
area.
we all
as
know
well.
that
Yeah.
these people have gone missing, but they've not been missing in the water, have they? Only the 50 people in the boat.
No, that her notes refer to people missing in the area of the thing, the river, as well
Oh, so
as
she's
fish.
all right.
Mm,
Ghouls and underwater stuff.
hmm
It's all going on here.
And crazy lights at the uni.
Like I
Yep.
said, this is quite this is very sort of
Sandboxy.
before
Yeah.
it's very sandboxy. It's like think Intersections 1920 Glasgow.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I can't.
Kind of,
That
kind
goes
of.
straight up my
Wait,
head.
Kind
it
of.
is kind of.
There's a
Wait,
lot going on, and that they might not all necessarily be connected. There might be connections. It's
Mark,
for you to
did you
find out.
forget what Intersections was?
Turkey.
We played it.
We played it. We were
Istanbul.
spies. Istanbul. There's so much going on. There's so many
right.
leads.
That was how. Oh, right. The dream stuff
Well, at the end,
and the
yeah.
and
in
the
end, it
nuclear
was.
stuff and all of that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was Intersections,
Yeah.
but it wasn't called Glasgow Intersections.
I miss Intersections so much. I want to go back there.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think we're getting in on side tangents again. I think this has nothing to do with the murders or the disease that's going rampart here.
Well, You say that, but
What
they could be
do you mean?
connected.
That's
Irving?
just another
There's
possibility. I think it's just added
no
to
such thing as
possibilities.
coincidence in my
it's
Call
ru-
of Cthulhu games.
It's ruled nothing out as a cause in my mind so far. It's just a list that's growing. So now, possible ghouls, possible lycanthropes, possible underwater stuff, disease, poison, hospital disease. It's just a list.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All of the
I-
above.
Well, I hope you've found what you've been looking for. But it's time to lock up the library, I'm afraid.
I'd just like to thank you, Dr. Montrose. You've been most hospitable and very generous. Thank you very much.
She
Oh, and
tilts her head in acquiescence.
and Doctor, it couldn't be helped, but we saw the notes in that book you were reading. If we discover what the thing in the Clyde is, we'll be the first to let you know.
She seems a little bit taken aback with the with that comment,
And I
But-
go like that.
but she sort of quickly stifles her astonishment and smiles and she goes, "Be careful and thank
Oh.
you."
I'm sure we will.
Thank you, Al. Do I need to make any kind of psychology roll on that? It all seemed quite genuine to me.
Make a psychology roll.
Make a psychology roll.
Good call.
And it's a complete fail on my part again.
Oof.
You just can't keep your eyes off her figure.
Well, she's hot, isn't she?
Oh yeah, that's right. She's an extremely hot lady,
Attractive lady.
a very
Yeah.
handsome woman.
I feel the need to try and seduce her, but I'm going to stop because it's not in my characters. Yeah.
so
Psyche.
since we're getting escorted out, I think there's 2 leads that we can, or possibly even 3 leads that we can pursue. You said you guys found out, or we all found out, that the girl or the workster was first stabbed and then gouged out like by an animal. In this case, we think a ghoul. Maybe she was murdered first and then dumped somewhere. And since she was with child, I can only speculate and hold my tongue if you think this is too ranchy. She was murdered because she was sleeping with her boss, and the boss didn't want another illegitimate bastard.
Did you find out where she worked?
Yes, we did. We found out that she works for the lord of that manor, and yeah, that we had thought of that.
The other part, we can go monster hunting in the necropolis. Way more dangerous, but obvious.
Go
Yeah,
fishing in the Clyde.
you're right. I mean, yeah, Clyde, ghouls, dead girl.
You were talking of Siddons, yeah?
Yeah,
Of
Lucy.
what? Oh,
Talking about
Siddons,
Lucy
yeah.
Siddons.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was there any evidence that she'd been sexually assaulted at the crime scene? I know that sounds awful, but
Did you got to look at the
yeah,
report on her
with
body,
an
didn't you? Yeah,
with an
there's
extreme.
no mention of that.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm sure. Yeah, I think you
And
mentioned something like that. Don't
yeah,
I?
there was nothing taken from her body. She was basically fully intact.
It's like perhaps all they wanted to do was use it as an excuse to murder her, but it's the fact that
Well,
she's
that-
been
Yeah,
you know, do you know
there's
what?
3 reasons that she might have turned out that way. 1, because someone wanted to murder her. 2, because someone was that she came across something that was wild and primal and just devastated her. Or 3, it was like a Jack the Ripper, a Glasgow Ripper thing. She was just a sacrificial kind of what do you call it?
Offering.
An
What, just-
offering, a victim of a murder.
Right, well, there's
Or an
lots going
offering,
on in
yeah.
there. We I mean, I don't think any of us believe that there's a Glasgow Ripper as such, like there was a Jack the Ripper.
Wouldn't
You know.
rule it out,
But the
Wasn't
thing
it
is,
proven that it was Neil
if it,
Apatep that was doing all the killings back in
it,
Jack the
it,
Ripper's time?
here's the thing, you see, if the ghouls killed so that they can eat, then why was her body left so intact? It
and where was she
does.
found
It,
again?
it does. It do. Well, she was just found somewhere, but not. That's not where she was killed because there isn't
There is a
enough blood.
location of where she was found.
Yes, I know, but that's not where she was killed. We noticed that straight away. She was killed somewhere else and then brought to that location, which is
That is
why
a good
we're having
point.
to wait until she's buried before we can talk to her.
That is a good point, because if it is the ghouls behind this, then why have we found any bodies? Why
Right.
aren't they just disappearances where they've taken away the body, eaten it, and then thrown the bones out on the Vale of Panath? I mean, there's nothing. It just doesn't make sense. They don't go
Doesn't
up
make
to
sense
kill
for
for nothing.
ghouls.
Yeah, where
I
was she
like.
found?
I'm going to go with the thing where Irving's saying, and
Mhm.
and if it was, say, the Lord of the Manor's child, and he didn't want his bastard child out in the world for people to see, he very well might have done it himself. And like the knife, he's used a
Do
knife
you think
Please
him a
let me
fool,
finish.
Robert?
Please let.
My goodness.
Can I finish?
If this was the case, he would not have dumped the body where anyone could see it
Can
and
I
made
finish?
it back to him.
Can I finish?
It's a foolish theory,
Can I
but carry
finish?
on. Yeah, of course you can.
It hasn't been dumped. It hasn't been dumped in a place that leads back to him. That's just it, isn't it?
Well, how are we thinking of him? Why do we think that he's involved?
Can I just
And we've
finish?
just came upon this crime.
Well, she's not married, as far as we know, and she is with child. So, I mean, that's telling. Also, she works there, and she was not found
If we
there.
can reason our way, we've just came into Glasgow. If we can reason that it could be his child, and that's the reason he had her killed, surely he would have thought of that as well.
Yeah, but like, let me just say it like this: I might maybe an outdoorsman, but all of you are clearly professionals in this. Ex-police officer, a person that has done medicine, like people that deal with the occult and research and find the real thing. You guys found out that she was cut up before being ripped apart. I mean, like, it was murder. She was murdered before being torn apart by the ghouls. So we need to find the killer, and even if it's not the Lord, maybe getting some clues. Maybe she was being stalked by some random dudes down the street every time she left the house after she was done with her duties. The Lord might know something. So our first suspect might also give us the most clues. Like, that's all we can go on at the moment.
Another random thought to throw in here, because I've been percolating on the whole ghoul connection, but it doesn't make sense. What if it's someone that's turning into a ghoul, someone that hasn't fully transformed yet? Because that's why you're getting, maybe there's this discrepancy between the marks that are left at the scene, that there are certain aspects that do meet. Maybe it's this transformation is driving the poor guy crazy in the process, and he doesn't quite know what he's doing. Maybe it's this animalistic instinct that's lashing out, and then he's going, "Oh shit!" when he realizes what he's done, and then not bothering to dispose of the body. That maybe it's something that's not in his control.
So it could be someone turning into a ghoul that killed this poor woman.
Yeah,
But
in
the
which
body
case,
was disposed of.
Yeah.
Because she was killed somewhere and then
Yeah.
left somewhere.
in which case, other random potential that we could do, risky strategy, admittedly, I know, but potentially could work. If it is that route, if we approach the ghouls, the proper full-blown ghouls in or under the graveyard, assuming that's where they are, and say, "Hey, there's someone up above that is threatening your exposure, because if there's someone running around that is potentially turning into a ghoul, that could bring a lot of heat down on you and potentially involve a whole group of people coming down here with burning torches and pitchforks. We find out who it is for you and get rid of them, and then everything goes back to the status quo. They continue having their midnight noshing on corpses and not disturbing anyone, and we have our problems sorted out for us. We might be able to call upon for them. We call upon them for some help to try and find out who this person is.
Yep, we could do that. We just
So,
have to say our investigations led us to here, and this exactly what you said, Thaddeus, and perhaps they'll work with us.
I would like to at least finish what I was saying earlier on, that, and this is on behalf of the fact that the Lord of the Manor has killed her and ripped her apart himself to make it look like it is one of the other murders, and then he's disposed of the body at the end of it, because he probably wouldn't be able to just rip open a body because the skin's extremely strong, and he started it off with a knife, and then the rest has been torn to make it
You're-
look like it's been some sort of an animal. So that's my thought on that, because there hasn't been anything missing. She's just been killed.
Robert, do you think that that lord killed that girl?
I'm just suspicious that most people are killed by people that know them.
That's right, but let me tell you, in my previous history, from what I know of the upper class and their
Oh,
strange ways,
oh.
that they wouldn't be putting that body for anyone to discover unless they were deranged or it was some kind of ritual thing.
Do you think they'd find a much better way of disposing of the body then?
Well, imagine now you are the Lord and you've impregnated one of your maids. Are you going to murder her so that the evidence might lead back to yourself?
Well, the
If
thing
you
is,
were
it'd be very
if you
hard
were of
to.
sane if you were of sane mind,
But it'd
of
be very
course.
hard to link that back if there were lots of other murders looking exactly the same.
But we've already linked it back to him. It's already a part of our
Yes, but
discussion.
that's because of the way we think.
It didn't. You read the police report, right, or the death report? Did it say that there were previous cuts before being mauled by an animal? Probably not. I think it was covered up really well, and at this point, us finding it may have been luck or skill at that point.
Merlin does have a very good point, though. Does have a very good point. The only way we're going to sort of find that out is if we actually question him ourselves and
Yes.
try and suss out whether he's telling the truth or not about whatever he says. So yeah, I see what you're saying, Merlin. I totally get it. But it's
What
the
do you
fact
know?
you see that nothing was missing and nothing was taken away and it wasn't eaten or anything like that. But that's
What
the
do you
same
know
with a.
about Arkwright at the moment?
What do we know? Let's have a look. I think I wrote his name down with Summit. Then again, maybe I didn't.
Well, what you know of Arkwright at the moment is that he's a philanthropist, rich, 48 years old, once
48.
48.
Right.
Was
Oh,
known to known to be the city's most eligible and wealthiest bachelor.
well,
Was
that's quite a reputation to try and uphold, isn't it?
Yeah, but you wouldn't do it by murdering your known maid and leaving the corpse for anyone to find.
but
I know, I hear we.
hasn't been seen in social circles for about 2 years.
Unless you were mad or it was for some kind of weird ritual.
We definitely need to go and see him. There's just too much of a big question around it. And
So
the
it
thing
was a-
is, if we find out afterwards that he's got nothing to do with it,
He was a
It-
big socialite up until 2 years ago when he stopped his socializing.
You're right. Robert. You're correct.
I wonder what happened 2 years ago then. Maybe. Didn't we
I'm
go
getting a
to
bit. I'm getting a bit of an ashtray mouth, so I'm going to 9
tea?
o'clock. I'm going to call it a tea break. Back
Cool.
in 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
2 and 5.
whenever everyone's ready.
A quick matter though, we'll be able to find out what happened to the local philanthropist that's extremely rich in the papers. You know, there might have been a death in the family that it would have been in the papers if, you know, something quite important happened to him.
Probably. And it's probably kept in the library. So
Yeah. Well,
Which has
didn't
been
we go
kicked
and
out right
ask
now.
for all of the clippings? But that was just for the past 10 months, wasn't it?
We
Is that
asked
right,
for
Matt?
the no, we asked for the back in the hospital, the time of the disease breaking out. We asked for like who was the first, who was patient 0, what was
Yeah, you
what
want the
Yeah, we
timeline
did.
of
But didn't
of the
earlier than
pandemic.
that, didn't Matt, didn't we talk to a newspaper thing about getting a clip thing? What was it
Oh,
called? You
asked,
called
I asked about flipping agency, but I'm not sure what
yeah,
this was.
that was it.
yeah, clipping agency.
Clipping agency.
Yeah,
Like Google
it's an
for
American. It's an American thing. Don't have
Okay,
flipping
well if
agency
that
for
didn't get
London.
set
Is
up
that
then
Glasgow.
we can
that's
head
an
to the
American
library.
thing? I'm
We're
sure
at
that's a British thing. Fuck off.
have we fully left the library yet? Oh no, it's closed. At 4 in the afternoon.
Break in.
No, it's
Yeah.
later. It's later because you had two bouts of research.
We can
Library
break
related.
in.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
break in.
That's a
It's
possibility. Let's have
yeah.
that tea break first
Okay.
before you do anything rash like breaking into the Mitchell Library.
Will the newspapers still be open? We could go and ask them. Go, boy. Someone
you're the
there
journalist
might
involved with
verbally know
this.
it. You know,
Yeah.
speak to journalists and go, what's happened to Arkwright? Why don't you see him anymore? Apparently he was quite a socialite.
Anyway, Tiff, do you want to pause the stream for the break?
Now the night is done, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade. Cloudless, my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming. Condemned to a plight, to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate. Fear's just of the flesh, and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, love infernal, madness is my destiny. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, love infernal, madness is my destiny. Madness is my destiny. Galaxies of infinity. Now the night is dawn, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade, cloudless my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate, fears just of the flesh and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, love infernal, madness is my destiny. Madness is my destiny. Galaxies of Now the night is dawn, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade, cloudless my mind seeks the meaning. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight to terrorize most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate fears just of the flesh and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity.
Yeah, we all up for going live?
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
All right, we're back up.
Welcome back, everyone. Do you know, I think we ought to split up and do a little bit of investigation that's not going to be dangerous.
Like what, Robert?
Well, like a
Investigation
couple
that
of
ain't
us,
dangerous.
a couple of us could go to see Ark, right? And a couple of us could go to the police and find out where they've actually got with their investigations. There are two policemen, I believe, that are involved. One's involved with the murder of Lucy, and the other one's involved with no. One's involved with the boat, and the other one's involved with the murders.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to split ourselves into three groups. I think two groups is plenty.
Volunteering for the police.
All right, Merlin,
Mm,
or would you prefer to go to Arkwright?
I'm thinking about it.
Let's see. Not too bad at sussing out people's intentions, but I'm not great. Is everyone seeing that ginger thing that's just like flying across the screen now? You know?
No.
It's just a blur. That one.
Sanity roll.
Yeah.
So are you going to split up into two
Sometimes.
groups?
Yeah, I think so. That's going to be the safest bet.
In respect to everyone's time, we don't need 6 people or 5 people ganging up on one suspect.
Yeah. It's a bit mob-handed, isn't it? I don't mind, so I'm going to spin a coin.
Wait. Robert, if you were to go to these police officers, what are you going to ask them?
Well, I don't know if I'm going there yet, and maybe we
Okay.
could all sort of
A
suggest
second
some
question then.
questions.
If you're going to go to this gentleman who seemed to have murdered his maid, what are you going to ask him?
I'm going to ask him how long she's been working there. Does she know his boyfriend? Has he got any idea when did he last see her? Where does a boyfriend live? What's their relationship like? If you've seen it, has she
Well,
been?
Seems like you should go and see him, right?
I've got immediate questions for him. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice one, Merlin.
I'm going to
You-
go and see the coppers, obviously, because I'm ex-police.
Great, you'll be joining me.
Yep, I'm with you.
Are you going to phone ahead?
Wait, Thaddeus and Elizabeth haven't decided what they're doing yet.
What do you want to do?
I'm not particularly fond of the smell of bacon in the morning. I was thinking of Arkwright.
Okay, we can go do that. We'll do it together.
Okay.
So Robert,
Us three.
Thaddeus, and Elizabeth Arkwright, and Irvin and Merlin are going to the police. Are you going to phone ahead or just turn up unannounced?
For Arkwright, probably it's best to phone ahead because
Agreed.
there's good chances he'll be in. There's good chances he'll be in, you see, because apparently he hasn't left his home for a long time,
That's not what I said.
isn't it?
No,
He said he was a philanthropist. He used to be a socialite. He's
he's
an eligible
he's just
battler.
not been seen in the social circle.
Oh, right. Okay. So he might. Yes, exactly. So he might not be in. So we will ring ahead. Let's do it now. Let's find out. Ring, ring.
What about the police? Are you going to phone ahead for the police or are you just going to turn up?
Well, they're probably working during this time. Probably go to the police station, get their whereabouts,
Copper's
and then,
job is never over. It's a 24-hour job.
until it's time, and they do go home for dinner, and then don't even let them world know that they are alive. Anyway, yeah, just I would say, Merlin, you're the expert in this, but going to the police station seems like the best way to find any specific cop.
It all depends on what's going on in the cop shop at the time. If they don't want to be known, they will. If we ring ahead, they'll say they're not there. But if we turn up, they can say that we're not there anyway. So it's 50-50, really.
Down to your luck, probably. Down
Yeah.
to your luck. How lucky do you feel, mates?
And which detective do you want to see? The one in charge of the Irish sloop or in charge of the...
Siddons or Sloop.
I don't think we'll find anything noteworthy at the murders, but just to cover our bases, maybe get a detailed report about each of the murders. Maybe it escalates, like it's linear on how brutally the murders are, or it's like doesn't matter.
Are they from the same constabulary or
Glasgow
Yes.
Central?
And
Glasgow
that would
Central?
be DC McKeegan, that you're looking for the murders.
Okay, then I'll personally ring, and I'll say I'm from Scotland Yard, and I'll ask for both their names to see if they're on duty.
Do you mention the provost office?
Not initially.
Okay.
And it's DC Harris is the
So
other one.
you're from
Out.
Scotland Yard and you wish to speak to the detective in charge of the murders?
Murders and the sloop mystery.
Well, two separate detectives, sir.
Yeah, but are they both working tonight? Are they in your building now, is what I'm asking you. And if it's only one, then please let me know.
Who's in the house? Who's in the house? Who's in the house?
McKeegan is in the house.
McKeegan?
Ross DC Harris is not.
Okay.
So that's the guy. So you've got the guy that's taking care of the murders.
Can I ask that how long will he be there? I want to come and see him, if that's possible, to have a chat.
Let me check his schedule. He had an appointment. Make a luck roll.
Bollocks. Fail.
He has an appointment in the morning, but he'll probably be here till about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Okay. Thanks very much. I'll put the phone down. I'll say, Irvin, we're going there now. We're gonna go and find. We're gonna talk to him.
Yes.
He's in the building.
Finally, I can use my legs. God intended.
And you're phoning ahead for the Arkwright.
Oh, here, Thaddeus, can you make the phone call? You sound a lot posher than I do. I don't come across very well on a phone.
I can try and resist the urge to say, "What's up, Gav?"
Please do your best. Use your university voice.
Okay, you get to the right page. Bingo. Quite.
Is Arkwright in the house? Is Arkwright in the house? Is Arkwright? Fuck house.
You make a phone call to the Arkwright house.
Mhm.
A woman answers the phone. Arkwright residence. How can I help
Hello.
you?
I'm wondering who I might need to speak to in regards to making an appointment to see Mr. Arkwright.
What's it in relation to?
It's in relation to I work I'm working on the behalf of the Provost office, and some things have come up in our investigation into some matters into the city that we've been asked to look into. Have indicated that Mr. Arkwright may be of help in our inquiries. So I was hoping if we could have maybe half an hour of his time just to run through some questions with him. That's all. Oh, the name's Chambers, by the way.
Oh, Mr. Chambers. Well, he has an appointment with a certain detective tomorrow morning. Detective Constable McKeegan. I suppose you could. I could fit you in to see Mr. Arkwright after that. Maybe late morning tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Oh, well, I'll see you then. You know where we are.
Yeah, Arkwright House. It's fairly obvious.
Yes, Dennis Tone.
Right, we shall see you then.
Very well, Mr. Chambers. Make a psychology roll.
I love that she's Welsh.
Employ wherever you can get them.
True.
25 is a hard success.
She sounded quite upset. Hard, yeah. Almost like she's been crying. And seemed to be quite agitated.
Agitated at me or agitated at something else?
Something else.
Okay. Right. Just in which case, as she's like saying, "Oh, see you tomorrow," then I'll just tag on the end of that. Hopefully things get a bit better your end. You sound a bit down at the minute. Hopefully he's not working too hard.
Oh, thank you for your kind words.
What's her name?
And then she hangs up.
Yeah.
Did you get a name? Did you get a name?
Geddes. Mrs. Geddes.
Right, so tomorrow morning. Late morning.
Looks like he's with the cop you want.
Right.
Will be in the morning.
Oh, McKeegan.
Should we turn up a bit earlier and then potentially grab both of them as they're coming out of their appointment together and say, or you can stay, cop, you can stay behind a few minutes.
That's exactly what you should do, Thaddeus.
And Irvin and Devon are going to the cop shop now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so we'll deal with you now. Are you gonna? The other three, are you gonna do anything for the rest of the afternoon?
In the meantime,
We don't have an address for the boyfriend, do we?
What boyfriend?
Well, the boyfriend that's knocked her up.
Yeah, you don't even have a name for the boyfriend.
Or if she has a boyfriend.
Or if she has a boyfriend, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
that came out of nowhere.
I wonder how she got knocked up then.
Well, just because you don't know the name doesn't mean there isn't someone,
Or that there is.
or that there is. Exactly. That's why you investigate.
That's right.
Well, I'll let you think about what you're going to do in the meantime, while I deal with Merlin. I keep wanting to say Devon, Merlin, and Irvin.
I'm tempted by going to see the servants of the house from after what Thaddeus said, and just see, well, you know, because
What now?
otherwise I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
The Library of Light.
That was
I know.
university, wasn't it? Right.
Forearmed is forewarned. What about some research and find out what happened in the life of Arkwright to suddenly stop him from being such a socialite? Maybe.
He started turning into a ghoul. That usually puts a damp
Yeah.
social situation.
Well, the library's closed, so where would you be doing that research?
Oh, the newspapers. I'd go to the newspaper
Okay.
and speaking to a journalist. That's what I'm looking for.
You want
Okay.
the local gossip rag is what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Journalist is a very high flying term for those kind of people.
The Glasgow Herald.
Yeah.
Hacks.
Is there only one paper in Glasgow, or is that what it is? The Glasgow
Yeah,
Herald?
the Glasgow Herald.
So you could do
First
that.
published in 1783. One of the world's oldest surviving English language newspapers.
Wow.
Wicked. That's
Has
excellent.
records
going back.
Has not public records, has records dating back to the 18th century.
Outstanding. How cool is that? 17 something. There were hacks and journalists back then wanting to find out the truth.
Okay, Merlin and Irwin, you while the others are on their way to the Glasgow Herald, you find yourself at the Glasgow Central Police Office.
Outside it, I hope.
Near the city centre in Turnbull Street.
We're outside. We're not in there
yeah.
yet. Yeah.
A drab granite building, covered in the constant rain.
Drizzle.
I'll turn to Irvin and say, look, imagine now you were charged as the protector of Glasgow. You were a police officer in its constabulary. And we walked in asking for information, stepping on these people's toes. How would you feel if that was you? If I came upon you and I started interrogating you upon how you're doing in your investigations in certain murders?
Put it on the defensive. But if the other person outranked me so hard that they could make my life difficult, I would play along to do anything they say so that they don't have a negative opinion of me. But if they were beneath me or like alongside me, I wouldn't give. Depending on the cause, or if I feel like my honor is besmirched, I wouldn't give my all of it.
Yeah. You sound like an honourable chap, Irving. We can't presume these people are. If we go in there asking them questions, exalting our authority over them, it might turn out a little bad. Perhaps we should say to them, we're here to help them. We're not here to take over. We're not here to tread on their toes, but we're here to help in as much as we can. We could either go in here or we can go to the necropolis perhaps and see what's down there, do a little investigation ourselves. What do you think?
Oh, without the
How-
group?
Without the group, I mean, how much do we think we're going to get from here? Is what
Well,
I'm
it
asking.
depends. Maybe I agree with your approach of like giving them assistance, but maybe we should like give them a scare also, not of us, but maybe something along the lines of, well, you're from Scotland Yard or were saying like, yeah, word has reached London, and there's been an imitator of the Glasgow Ripper showing their face. We caught him, but the public is worried, and now it's become like a royal or like a big concern in London. They're breeding, so they said me to look into things and maybe assist you. And that will maybe stoke the fire under our asses to be more open and quicker about the whole thing.
I agree with the assist thing. If we go in like we're trying to assist them, but I feel like if if they start to think that things are getting out of hand, I don't think they'd like a couple of foreigners. Well, I'm a foreigner. You're obviously from Scotland by your accent, but yeah, I, I think if I go in there as if like I know more than them or I'm more of an authority, it's gonna cause some waves. So I think we should tread carefully around this officer.
So don't go in there doing that then.
But I do think if they're doing the job properly, there should be unbiased takes in, or
Listen, I
like,
don't mean to sound rude, but this is Glasgow office. I don't think they're going to be as thorough as Scotland Yard.
okay, well, lead the way. I'll be the guy that clearly doesn't belong, but has a huge rifle on his shoulder.
Fine. I enter the building.
I'll follow.
Okay, you enter the building. Despite the late afternoon time, the offices are abuzz with activity. There's a desk sergeant with his head down, looking down at his desk.
Okay. I knock politely on his desk and say, "Oh, I see you're busy, but if I can have your time."
Aye, how can I help you, sir?
Yeah, we've come to see
Keegan.
Keegan. Yeah, we've come to see Keegan. Is he available?
Points thumbs over his shoulder to an office in the back.
I walk to the office. Come over in.
Yes.
Okay, his door's ajar, and he's got loads of paperwork on his desk, and he seems to be deep in his paperwork.
I sort of stand there until he notices me.
Can we be quiet about it? Like,
Don't do it in real time, Yusuf. Just tell us how long he's waiting.
Couple of moments pass. He looks up. He goes, "Hi, can I help you?"
Oh yes, you can. I take out my credentials. It's got my name on it, Scotland Yard. I show him.
Oh, you come to help with the murderers?
Indeed, I have. Yeah.
Oh, take a seat. Take a seat. You're no journalist.
No, I'm no journalist. News has gotten down to Scotland Yard that there's been a bit of a heavy workload for you guys up here, and me and my friend here, we've come to kind of help out as much as we can.
Oh, well, I appreciate the help. What can I? Well,
oh, Irvin McLeod.
you
introduce
from
yourself.
Scotland Yard as well, are you?
Oh no.
He's with me. He's a help. You know, he's a subcontractor, we could say.
Oh well, the more help I can get, the better it is for me.
Of course. We're more interested in the death of the certain Miss Siddons.
Oh, we Lucy Siddons, aye, brutal.
Aye.
He continues saying, basically, not really giving you any more information than you already have about the murder.
This is out of game then. Does she have like a husband? Does she have a boyfriend? Is she engaged with anything? Like, does she has an address? Did we already get an address? Like such information, is that like stated in
well,
their
the wee lass did work at the Arkwright House. I'm due to make a visit there in the morning.
Oh,
You're
right.
welcome to join me.
Oh, we'd love to. I think that'd be a great idea. Don't you, Irv?
Oof. At this point.
Oh, don't
Why
be
not?
shy. You can come along. I need all the help I can get.
Aye.
So you have no
What do you know?
idea?
What do you know of the murders?
Only what you know, obviously. Well, perhaps less than what you know. We know how she was found, what had happened to her, where she was found.
Well, I don't know what it's like for you boys down at the yard in London, but the brutality of these murders is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I'm from Glasgow, you know.
We know. So there's never been a murder like this?
Not with this level of brutality, no.
Not in the recent years?
Well, not without. No. This is the. I mean, yes, we've had murders, but you know, nothing like this. Nothing like this at all.
At all that you know of?
Aye. I'm trying to work out if it's all connected or not. But the only thing I can connect at the moment is just the brutality and the mess of the corpses. That's the only common denominator at the moment.
Of which murders?
All of them.
So no political, no age, no sex, fair sex, or male.
Well, Sonny, if you can find a connection, then I'm all ears.
Well, we haven't seen the police reports. Maybe you could spit to that. Maybe it's political, even.
Take a seat. You want a wee dram? And he pulls out a bottle from his
I'll
drawer.
take a bit of that, of course.
Make yourself comfortable. Help yourself. And he just
Constitution.
shoves a load of paperwork in front of you that's on his desk.
And the bottle, I hope.
Yeah.
So what's the role?
Well, in front of you is the reports, but after looking through them, nothing, no more knowledge or information comes out. You don't even need to roll for it.
Are they near the river?
The locations seem to be random. Some are near the river, some aren't.
Are they close to the necropolis?
Some are, some aren't.
Okay, so
How
many
much
are and how many aren't? And is there a time scale to those deaths? Like, are the older ones away from the necropolis and the newer ones towards?
There doesn't seem to be any pattern at all.
does Lucy Siddon's report stand out as the only one having less blood at the crime scene or at the scene of the body?
The only thing that stands out from Lucy's is that she's the only pregnant victim.
But we gathered previously that that the body wasn't murdered there previously and it was moved, so it would show, I hope, in the reports that there was less blood found at this scene, even though she was ripped apart.
Possibly not found. The body was not found. There's a strong possibility that the body was not found at its place of death.
Okay. And that's the only outlier of all 18 cases, or are there multiple situations?
Some have been like, there's one instance where a body was killed inside a building and
Dragged out of it.
dragged through a secured door outside.
And that's the outlier. Okay.
Some, but yeah, not all the bodies had been moved. Some had been found on at the place of death, but there's no consistent. There's
And
no
occupations?
Varied.
Okay. would you
Rich
say that
and
they were-
poor,
Okay.
male, female, old, young.
Do all the write-ups have like evidence written in it? Like there was like there might have been a bit of cloth somewhere, or there was blood splashes here, or are they good, thorough
Make a law roll.
reports? Are the reports really thorough?
LAW.
Yeah. A fail.
You just get an impression that this detective is dedicated in trying to solve the murders.
So the descriptions are really good. There's like really detailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems to be convinced that there's a motive to the killings, but he hasn't worked out what this motive is.
Mm.
Before coming to this place, I did get mugged in the slums. I was looking for reports on or from newspapers some time ago stating that there were wild wolves encroaching on the city of Glasgow.
There's
The local
not
inhabitants.
been a wolf in Scotland, let alone Glasgow, for years, decades.
Yeah, I know. But there are foreigners, and they do bring their pet animals with them sometimes. But no, the locals said as much, and they, when I was talking about wolves, they automatically went to the Glasgow Ripper.
The journalists, they love to sensationalize things like this.
Do we have?
If you don't mind, young lad, don't be calling it the Glasgow Ripper.
No, I get it.
That just feeds into the journalists and the paparazzi's glorification of our troubles.
Do we have any supposed witnesses, even though they might be false?
I'd love a witness, my lad.
Oof. Okay, well, that's it then. Maybe we. Oh, Merlin, should we then go out at night, look for a possible? Or is it like a time scale maybe then? Like when can we expect the Ripper to let out his urges again? Is it like a 10-day or between 10 and 12 days occasion that it automatically does it, or is it each month once?
Don't say Ripper.
Are you saying this in front of the detective?
Yes. Like, is there like a correlation between time between those these killings? And then everyone goes through like the dates, seeing if there's like
There's
proximity.
Nothing at all stands out as relevant.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be any pattern involved at all with these murders.
Murders. Have we decided where our base of operations is? Are we in a hotel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say the hotel or the provost's office.
Okay, well then I'll say to the gents, well, here's our number at the hotel. You come up with anything, just let us know. If we come up with anything, we'll come and see you.
You're not going to come with me to see Arkwright then?
Yeah, we're coming with you in the morning, but if you get anything until then, what time are you leaving? Are you leaving from the office?
My appointment with him is for 9 o'clock in the morning.
So
I'll meet you there then, yeah?
Yeah, we'll meet you there.
Good.
Yeah.
Everyone's just going to turn up on his doorstep.
Yeah, at the same time.
You know what I mean? He'll have gone through the ringer already with the copper, and then we arrive going,
Do you remember me asking you for a luck roll
yeah.
when you were speaking to
It was who gets there first?
Geds? No, it was whether or not Geds was going to mention that he had an appointment with the detective in the morning, but she didn't. She just said she had an appointment. If you'd have
Right.
succeeded in a luck roll, you would have got the detective, but you got round to it. You
We
got the
round to it
information
God,
anyway.
right.
yeah.
Which probably means
So,
Well,
no, hold on.
It's
So,
good.
Robert, Thaddeus, and Elizabeth are going to Necropolis now.
no, the newspapers.
Oh, the newspapers. That's right. Yeah.
It's those two Herberts that apparently go in there later on.
Well, we were thinking about it, but we're not now.
No, no,
Well, we
good luck.
might, yeah.
Go for it.
We might, yeah.
We might.
Yeah. After
Yeah,
you
so
guys have done your thing, we'll decide.
yeah, so we're going to the newspapers,
Mm.
and then probably back to the hotel. So we mosey along to the we mosey along to
Glasgow
the
Herald.
Glasgow
Glasgow Herald.
Glasgow
Glasgow.
Herald, right? Glasgow Herald, right? Would he spell Glasgow? What would you call it, Glasgow?
Headbutt.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, mate!
That's why we call it Glasgow. You can.
Give him a Glasgow smile. Come
I'm
on.
gonna have to find somebody that can stitch things.
Um,
Oh, me, I can do it.
yeah, you have no difficulty accessing the archives. Have library use,
like that with our psychic paper. Yeah,
library
just read
use
that.
rolls. While you're
Library
there, please.
use. Library use. I get a tick on my library use. Oh, I've already got one. Come on, babies. Oh yeah, that's a hard. Actually, I
Hard.
can make it an extreme quite easily if necessary.
Elizabeth and Thaddeus, have you got any
What my 11s?
extra
5 points.
library use?
90 out of 50.
Oh,
Ouch.
Nah, that won't work.
Let's see. 37 out of
Somebody-
45.
okay.
So
Regular.
regular.
Well,
Five
there's an
look-
abundance of stories relating to the current problems. The papers publish stories on murders, disease, loop. Most of the details are rehashed over and over, so you don't really find anything
I'll tell you what,
more
really.
than what you know. Let me finish. But after a few hours of searching, you do find this particular
Piece.
piece.
So I was going to ask, I'd like to know what the very first report was like on the very first murder, because it being the first one, it isn't like, it's a ripper straight away. It's like, oh my gosh, how unusual. Where is it?
No extra information from that really.
Fair enough.
Mark.
Fair enough. No worries. Okay, we're back to those.
Will someone want to read it out?
Werewolves sighted on the Bridge of Sighs. 3 local bakers claim to have seen werewolves running across the Bridge of Sighs on the very night that the maid Lucy Siddons was murdered near Fir Park Street. The men who were walking up Wishart Street on their way to the Cairns Bakery claim the strange creatures ran in the direction of Glasgow Cathedral and possessed glinting eyes and great white teeth.
Glinting red eyes.
Right, glinting
Reads
red
the
eyes.
card.
Read the card.
The three men insist what they saw was not human, not animal either. Glasgow police, however, believe that the werewolves witnessed by the three bakers may have in fact been the killers escaping the scene of Mrs. Siddons's murder. The police have asked the public to come forward with any further information that might lead to the capture of these cruel fiends. Any information should be sent to the Detective Constable McKeegan in Turnbull Street. Werewolves and there you have it. I
And
look
that's-
up. Oh yeah.
Oh,
did
you were
say I wa-
looking. You wanted to find out some information about Arkwright, didn't
Yeah.
you? Okay, make. What was your library use?
Mine was a hard,
Hard.
but with 5 I can make it an extreme.
No, don't. Save
Don't
your
need
luck.
it. Cool.
Get to the right page.
So anything
So-
on Arkwright a couple of years ago. Up to about 2 years ago from 10 months ago, if you know what I mean. 2 years, 10 months ago. Or 2 years. Yeah.
2 years ago, Arkwright was diagnosed with a rare degenerative disease that is slowly, rapidly killing him. He's lost the ability to walk and take care of himself. And now he rarely leaves his home and cannot function without aid from others.
Well, I guess he didn't get her up the duff then.
But hey, if it's someone that's slowly dying, that would be and they found a way to transform themselves into a ghoul and potentially live forever. That sounds like a great way to try and cheat an impending death.
But why is poor Lucy dead?
So 2 years ago, he was the toast of Glasgow and he most eligible and wealthy bachelor.
Until he was stricken
But now he has a degenerative
with a degenerative disease.
naval background. 48 years old. And that's that.
I suppose there's a tenuous link there with the whole naval aspect that connects to the docks. So there's an interest there, maybe.
Yep, it's a connection.
So that's taking you a couple of hours. Where were you going from the police station? To the necropolis?
Well, before leaving, I asked McKeegan, well, we weren't only interested in the murder. We will make this our priority, of course, but a ship coming into port, or sloop actually, with 50 people on board, all of them deadly ill or already dead, also caught our attention. We don't want a plague outbreak in England, do we?
Oh, well, if you want any information on that subject, then you'll need to speak to DC Harris.
Yes. Could we make an appointment out of the police station here with him? Or is he always away in the field?
Oh, you'll probably find him down the pub.
Oh no. Which one? Which one is his favorite?
The Jolly Copper.
Okay. I'll write it down. Thank you.
I'll see you in the morning.
Aye. Merlin, are we going to the graveyard?
I don't think he's there.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, it's almost late. I want to eat before bed.
Almost late.
Yeah, it's almost late.
Maybe a couple more drinks to the Jolly Roger, Jolly Copper.
Yeah,
then?
we can head to that pub. See if they do food.
Great.
Maybe a sandwich or a haggis.
Did he do that here?
Yeah, it's Scotland. They do haggis.
Yeah, but is it like a seasonal thing? Like is it the season
No,
to
it
butcher
isn't.
sheep?
It isn't seasonal.
Okay. Okay. Well, every day you learn something new. Well, let's go then.
I'm surprised that you as a Scotsman.
Yeah,
see
but
that
me, real life, I don't.
I still keep meaning to buy one and have it for dinner on a Monday night before a game.
So gross.
Have you never had a
Ugh.
haggis?
I love it.
No,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got no
Ugh.
problem with haggis.
I can't get around
Haggis.
I can't get around the sheep stomach part. I just can't do it.
Oh,
Yeah, but you don't eat that. It's only cooked in that.
yeah.
All
And
that is what holds the meat.
Not that
You
not
then
that different
cut-
from a sausage.
You cut that open.
Yeah,
And you cut
exactly.
that open, Tiff, and basically it looks like a nut roast. It's the consistency of a nut roast, to be honest.
No.
meatloaf.
It's like that and blood pudding. I can't do it.
You have
Oh,
to eat blood pudding. What's
what
wrong
you
with
call
you?
blood pudding, we call black pudding. Yeah,
Black
absolutely,
pudding
it's
is
delicious.
amazing. Oh my god.
It's made out of blood. I just no. I put it in my mouth. I spit it back out. I'm like, nope.
Fun
Just think
fact: each European country has their own version of blood sausage.
You're using all of the animal. There's no waste. With the haggis, you're using the stomach. With the blood pudding, you're using the blood. It's ethical to eat these things.
No waste.
Yeah,
Are you
there's no
are you
waste.
If it
heading
can be
to
eaten, if it's organic, it
Yeah,
can be eaten, can't it?
It's totally ethical.
are you heading to the Jolly Copper?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a whiff of fried haggis coming from the doorways
Oh,
of
this
the
is
pub.
going to be a treat.
Can't wait.
I don't
There's-
often come to the city, but only
You
like
You went to the Jolly Copper, and the first thing you notice is it's a copper's pub. There's uniformed and ununiformed men having their jollies, drinking, and it's not that busy at this time. It's early on in the evening, but there is a suited, overweight, retirement-aged guy sipping on some whiskey and eating a plate full of haggis and nips.
Haggis and nips. Nice.
Nips is turnips.
Yeah.
Haggis, nips, and turnips. Yeah.
Tatties.
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 Yes.
That's
Tatties,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll go to the bar and order some haggis, neeps, and tatties.
Oh, okay. Be right
And-
with you then.
And a pint of Guinness while you're there.
Get a strange look, but I.
Oh, like half of you aren't Irish.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sassenach's always order a Guinness. Okay, yeah, you order that. It gets brought to you after a few minutes.
Waitress, could you point out?
There's no waitress.
Okay.
Just bar service.
Barman, could you point out Constable? What's the name?
Harris.
Harris. Yeah, that's his full name. Constable Los Harris.
Yeah, he points to the guy that I described earlier.
Okay, great.
Get yourself a drink, Irvin.
Oh, I thought we were sharing.
Oh no, we're not sharing. Get yourself a.
All
Top.
that for you. Okay, can I get 3 shots of bourbon? Thank you.
You get an even stranger look asking for bourbon, but you get served.
Nice.
3 shots in 1 glass, was that, sir?
No. Oh, well, why not?
Aye.
I'll sip it.
When in Rome, okay, and then we take our stuff and we go and sit by the officer that has been pointed out.
Okay. He looks up as you sit down, gives you a strange look.
You mind if we sit here?
Sort yourself.
Aye. Let's not beat about the bush. I pull out my credentials. I say I'm Merlin Cabfile. I'm from Scotland Yard.
Oh, and Irvin. Just call me Irvin.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yeah, you can. Listen, I'm not here to step on your toes or make you feel like you're not doing a good enough job, but word has got down to good old the yard that there's shit going on down here, and I'm just here to offer my services and my help to whatever you might need. I'm not here to take any credit for anything or have my name in the papers. I want to be hush hush, but I'm here to help you on what you're doing right now.
Well, right now I'm drinking me drink and eating me food.
Which I am too, but we know
I
that
don't think
you're
I need any help with that.
well. Aside from that, sir, we do know that a sloop came into the port with over 50 dead people, and there's been no updates or no progress on it. And I'm kind of here to just help and alleviate your burden of this situation.
Well, it's early days yet for any updates. Case, but I suppose any help is welcome.
Yeah, of course. So, you carry on, but in your time, do tell us about what you know of the sloop.
Nothing more than what you know, I presume. You've been reading the papers.
Of course, and Scotland Yard has their ways of knowing what's going on up
Well,
here.
well, it appeared unannounced, unscheduled. The harbour master discovered about 50 bodies in the hold, dead.
I suppose
Not
you've
really
had.
much more to add to that.
Well, I suppose you've had a surgeon down there or some kind of man of the medical field to investigate what might have killed them. I presume.
There's not that much of a pause. As he gets out his notebook and starts looking through his notes.
Whew. Do hope we don't have another plague.
Yeah, plagues aren't good.
You're representing that note reference searching really well there, user.
Thank you. Yeah, I try my best.
You can see the load of notes he has.
It's very real.
Such role play.
So real.
But he doesn't seem to be taking, like, he's making a deal out of looking through his notes. Like, quite slow in his process.
Convenient, isn't it, Sophie?
Very. Oh my God.
He exclaimed. Sophie will now juggle. Here, Soph. There's one dice. There's the other. And there's the other dice. Go on. Do your juggling then. Go on. She starts them on her neck.
Oh, that was great.
You never perform when you ask to, will you? Cats, man. Honestly.
Right, found it. Sorry.
Stage fright.
Yeah, performance anxiety. Come on.
Well, all I know is that
Arrogance.
I believe it came out of Ireland.
Okay. What do we know of this? You must have some kind of understanding. Were all the bodies dead in the same way?
Aye, they were piled upon one another. Obviously, by the time the harbour master got to the bodies, they were all bloated and swollen. But medical examination discovered that they'd all been bore signs of being stabbed or slashed, and most have had their throats slit.
My goodness. All their organs intact.
Pretty much, yes.
So it wasn't a predator that tried to eat them or anything.
What kind of predator do you think would have done something like that?
I've no idea. But why would someone just kill everyone and no one? There was no defensive wounds.
Well, that's why we have jobs to find things out.
Well, Merlin was just making a comment. He's a bit of an expert on, I think, how do you call it over here? Forensic field. Yeah, the forensic field of crime scenes. Were there any scales, hairs, blood, substances under the nails, maybe of people struggling back against their assailants as they were slashing and stabbing at them? Something strange found on the deck that wasn't the color of blood, maybe?
No, nothing's really been found along those respects, Sonny.
Killed in their sleep.
Who investigated the bodies?
Well, after the harbour master, name now, Arthur Williams, he discovered the bodies, and then he called the police.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been assigned the case.
So who saw the bodies?
The harbour master.
Just
Arthur
the harbour
Williams,
master.
and a few constables and myself. And I believe one of the dock guards might have seen the bodies. I have constables because of the recent outbreak. We've not exhausted the connection. What's the word? We've not ruled out the connection between the outbreak and what's happened on the ship, but so it's been cordoned off for until further notice, until we get to the bottom of it.
Diseases can't stab you.
So the bodies are still on the ship.
The bodies are still on the ship.
Yeah. Nothing's been taken off the ship.
You've not had anyone from the medical profession come to investigate?
Right.
This contradicts what we've been, not whether I'm there or not, contradicts what we were told earlier, because I thought we were told that all the bodies have been destroyed.
The bodies from the outbreak of the plague.
That's where I'm getting
the sloop is relatively new to everything that's happened.
So they're sitting
couple
in
of
dock
nights. It's been sitting in the dock for the last two days.
Shit. Okay, that's fine. So you've had no medical staff or anyone from who could discern perhaps how these people died. I know you and I as officers might give our theories, but I've always found it beneficial to have someone from the medical field to come and have a look. You've had no one do that, may I ask?
Well, apart from initial medical examination, no experts, no specialists.
Okay.
They're dead. They can't be healed.
Of course. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
You're right.
It's that kind of attitude that he has.
Exactly. It's that
They're dead. They can't
Forensics.
be
What's
healed.
that?
Yeah, exactly.
Cause of death. What's that?
Listen, I'm not going to tread on your toes. If I find anything, I will come straight to you and tell it. I'm not here for the press. I'm not here for my own fame or infamy. I'm here to just help.
Well, I'd be
You mind
delighted.
if we?
I'd be delighted if you and you can make a psychology roll.
Mhm.
He goes very plummy. Be delighted if
He's not here for his own infamy, but they've all got it in for him.
they've all got
They've
it in
all
for
got it
me.
in for me. Infamy.
Infamy. They've all
Got it in for me.
frying tonight.
That was one of my favourites, the carry.
Oh, fucking great one that, wasn't it? Yeah, with Oddbod and the whole werewolf
Oh,
thing and Jim.
Bottom.
Oh, brilliant. Oddbod. Oh,
Hmm.
so good.
I wonder, was there like
you
a
mind if I
bill of
smoke?
lading? Go
A
ahead.
what?
A bills
what?
of lading, or a certificate of the vessel, maybe, or a seaway bill. They were also called.
A log.
Yeah, a log, if you want to call it by the layman's term. Yes.
No, that's the technical term as well. A
He
logbook.
shrugs his he shrugs his shoulders.
Maybe an export-import customs declaration.
We found no paperwork on board.
Okay.
Did you make your psychology roll?
I'm about to roll it.
Cool. No.
I got an extreme.
Extreme.
Yeah, I rolled a 12.
When he says delighted, it's almost like he does that when he says it.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, I'd be delighted if you'd come if you wish to join me on my daily visits to the site, and I'll gladly show you around."
I'd say, listen, I'm not trying to take the steam out of your sails. I don't want to make you seem like a fool.
Sonny, I haven't the steam in my sails as long. I just want to retire.
Well, let me help you retire on this one investigation. Yeah, let me take the lead. All credit will go to you. I promise. I'm here to help.
Well, like I said, I go there daily, but until someone comes forward with any knowledge, I have contacted the authorities in Ireland to see if they know anything about the ship, but nothing's come up yet.
Yes, exactly what I would have done. Yeah. Well, if anything does come up, please let us know. And when you're next going to see the ship, can I come with you?
Well, like I said, I go there daily. So
Huh? I missed that. I must be a bit deaf.
I said I go there daily, visit the location daily, so I can meet you.
So sometime tomorrow evening, perhaps?
No.
Lunchtime?
Lunchtime, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'll meet you there.
I'd advise going before lunch, just in case you lose when you go
Yeah,
on.
yeah, I get you. Okay, thank you.
Well, I'll be there anyway.
Lovely. I may have some friends with me, so don't be surprised if I don't come alone.
Take a lot more than friends, than a Londoner with friends. Surprise me,
Good.
Sonny.
Okay, be right back.
Ooh. Well, we'll take
where
our
was that?
leave after we're done with eating, of course.
Thaddeus is with Robert. You were speaking to detect. No, wait, where were you?
No, we were at the newspapers.
Newspapers, that's right, yeah.
And so, gosh, if there wasn't anything else that we might have thought of.
I think we've done the newspaper, the Glasgow Herald.
I think we probably need a bite to eat.
Would anyone like to come back to the hotel with me and get some free food from the hotel? Maybe the others have got back. Maybe there'll be a message at the door. We can always leave a message for them. Okay, that's
So,
what
yeah,
we're doing. We're
you
going to
head
head back to the hotel. Food.
Were the other two going to go to the necropolis after the police station? Back to the hotel. I think it's back to the hotel in the end.
Okay, you keep
You know,
pushing.
being at like the harbor at the Jolly Copper, there was one rumor of like things sighted in
The Jolly Copper isn't located near the harbour.
Okay, that mind.
Located near the police station.
We head to the hotel after our drinking and eating for the
There
evening.
seems to be a crisp-eating monster somewhere.
Sorry,
nearby.
I'll shut up. But
Not so much the crisp eating, but definitely.
How
So
close
are you all heading back to the hotel then?
after dinner?
Yeah. So it's
Well-
late afternoon, early evening
Yeah.
by the time you all meet up at the hotel.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, then we'll tell the guys about the werewolves that were apparently spotted on the Bridge of Sighs, but that they think that was just overexcited people and they think they saw the murderers. But you know, why would suddenly people say werewolves as opposed to, you know, really suspicious, scary looking blokes running away? There's something to be said in the fact that they chose to say werewolves.
Whiskey has that effect on people.
I don't think people suddenly come up with a werewolf.
There might be something in it. I'm just going to check, see when it was released.
Right. We tell them about Arkwright, that he's 48 and a couple of years ago he was diagnosed with a degenerative disease and has been in a wheelchair and has to be looked after ever since, ever slowly declining in his physical activities, and that he's got a naval connection, which throws it over to the fact that a naval background, which is a connection that throws it over to the bloody boat. I mean, you know, it's tenuous, but you know.
My thought seems to be spot on. The Wolfman was released in 1923, so perhaps because it's one of these modern moving picture malarkeys that maybe it is more forefront in people's minds when they see something big and hairy running across, say, bridge. They go, "Hang on a minute, I saw that on the silver screen. It could be a werewolf."
Yeah.
With a beard like mine in the moonlight, it could be taken for fur.
There you go.
Interesting. It's in the psyche of the people. I'll get you.
And shapeshifting is quite prolific in folklore as well.
Oh, yeah, the Loop Guru, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of weird somethings, aren't there?
Lots of different regional variations.
Yeah.
What interests me is the fact that the new what you just shared with us has to do with the fact that the witnesses were bakers who would be up in the early morning at like 4 o'clock to start the day on
That's right.
cooking the bread, which
That's
makes
right.
it more believable that there was actually someone on that bridge running, or multiple people running on that bridge to the cathedral.
That's right. That's a very good point. That is, because why would they be drunk at that time in the morning when they're going to work?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, a little drink in the morning isn't.
Yeah, I know,
bad
but
thing.
you can't get pissed, can you?
No, that's true.
You know, you're gonna have an actually fairly sober head, and it's definitely in the morning. So that means they're definitely making bread. They're not coming home after making it the night before. It's got to be fresh that day. So there's no way that they could be that drunk. So they've got their heads far more together than what the police seem to make out.
I just want to reiterate that you've got the two detectives. One doesn't seem to give a
flying
in retirement. The other one seems overworked, but they're both open for help. The other one seems overworked and dedicated, and the other one seems can't be asked. scales.
Yep.
Hmm.
Oh well.
Well, I'd
We
definitely
found-
like to go and see those bodies in the boat. Definitely want to check that out. I can't believe that they didn't send anybody in with some kind of medical degree.
They did.
just not an expert. Yes.
To
So
determine cause of death, but no forensic investigation.
So, plans for tomorrow. Both me and Merlin have an appointment with the Detective McGeegan at Arkwright House. So at the 9 o'clock in the morning. After that, we secured ourselves a visit at lunchtime at the sloop. So at the sloop, at least, they know you're coming. I don't know if your investigation to the Arkwright already paved any road on getting a
We've got the appointment immediately after yours.
nice.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to feel sorry for the poor bloke in a wheelchair that's getting lots of questions and probably find himself repeating everything he's already said. Might really wait until you guys come out and then see him and I don't know. Offer a oh, sorry to hear about your wheelchair and that. Ta-ra. I don't know. Yeah, we can't really do that. But
No, but maybe so here's the thing. We go in, we
what's
get his baseline questioning and baseline answers that he's going to give or ask of the police, and we get that information. You
we
guys
push
go
him on the
after.
bits?
Yeah,
Yeah,
push him, put on the fact that
whatever you
the
don't
girl, the
find
maid,
out.
was stabbed before she was ripped apart. The police don't know that. Police don't have even evidence of that. We know that. You can push on that, and maybe his story will change.
Yeah.
That's
Hopefully,
some use of it.
if he's up for it. But yeah, we can certainly probe him on things that you didn't get clear on and what have you.
So, unless you're doing anything specific during the, we can fast forward to Arkwright House in the.
I'm
Is
happy
there any
to do that.
We could
Go to
also
bed.
maybe go spelunking in the dark for those werewolves.
Spelunking.
You do that most of the time underground, but
In the dark. No.
Okay.
You
Just
can.
laying it
Yeah.
out.
I'm not stopping you from doing it.
Nah, I need backup. I'm not doing that alone.
Yeah, I think we kind of need to be all going together on those kind of things. And while we've got other things to do, we might as well, get clear on them.
Why can't we all go to Arkwright in the morning?
Well, we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
But you guys, it's probably best that we're not all.
No, as a
Maybe we're all
group.
together.
As
I
a
mean,
group. I mean, we've been invited by the detective, but you guys can come along as aides.
well, as there's already been suggested by Irving that you go in there first, and if you get any doubts or on anything where you'd like to probe him further on, or get confirmation, see whether he changes his story or not, we might as well do our interview afterwards. And we can go in armed with whatever you come out with, because they don't necessarily know that we're connected. We can approach it from the provost office and not the law.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep it as it is, and you go in first.
I'm all for it.
Okay, so who's going to Arkwright House? You're not going to do anything during the night.
No, I don't plan to.
Okay, so who's going to Arkwright House with the detective?
Muted, Matt, babe.
Muted.
You're muted, Matt.
Dope.
Speak up.
Yeah. We've already introduced ourselves on the phone as being with the Provost office.
Absolutely, yes, indeed.
Our appointment is after yours.
So Irvin and Merlin are going there with the detective first thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
okay,
Let's call them Mervyn.
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 Almost a paranoid investigator.
They shall be known henceforth as a pair as Mervyn. Merlin and Irvin. You mean?
So you meet up with DC McKeegan. He courteously waits for you to turn up before going in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is I don't know if you know, but Sir Gregory made the bulk of his money in shipbuilding prior to the Great War.
Right.
Anyway, yes, Arkwright House, situated in the centre of Dennistoun, a wealthy pocket of an otherwise poor suburb east of the city centre. It's a mansion by any standard, 3 stories, elegant marble and granite set in a neoclassical style, taking up nearly half a city block. Tall windows throughout offer glimpses into the opulence contained within. A high marbled arch curves over the front doors at the centre of the house. Overhead, a lantern-shaped glass enclosure emits a soft electric glow, which reflects off the polished bronze handle trim. A woman in a functional black shift and white trim, typical of serving staff, or Detective Keegan introduces himself, and you and his companions. And she asks you to come in.
What a lovely place you have
Your
here.
arrival. Her face looks ashen and her eyes look shot as if she's been crying. I have little thing in-game handout.
That's a lot of crying she's been doing.
She's obviously been upset
Yeah.
or something. And she takes you into, so in the in-game handouts of floor plan of Arkwright House, she takes you to the sitting room. While she goes and fetches Sir Gregory. It's a grandly furnished room, over 50 feet square. There's a number of plush chairs cluster around 2 low mahogany tables. There is a collection of books sitting near the window atop the desk. And you have a few minutes while you wait. Skids.
Okay.
As we walk in, do I notice any markings on the marble, claw-like marbles, like maybe only like punctures, little punctures in certain patterns, or in the woods in the house?
Make a spot hidden roll.
Not tracking. All right. Spot hidden is a regular, and if you would have asked for tracking, that would have also been a regular.
No, you don't see anything like
that. Okay. Clean so far.
Does the place look well kept?
Yes.
Everything looks kind of immaculate.
Lived in, but yes, well
Yeah.
well looked after.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait for the detective to ask all these questions before I even interject.
Okay. The books on the desk all seem to relate to shipping history and shipbuilding in Glasgow. And after a few minutes, the woman that answered, Mrs. Geddes, returns. If you'd like to, please, gentlemen. She leads you across the wide hall to an oak-panelled reception room. The one in the bottom left. And here you see an extremely frail man in a cushioned wheelchair. Looks easily 90 years old. Wispy white hair sits atop his otherwise head, his face deeply wrinkled, covered in age spots. His eyes, on the other hand, appear bright, clear, and are of a brilliant crystal blue.
48 years old.
Does he look
There
like
are
he's got zero
photographs.
sanity?
There are photographs around the room. I'll get to that in a sec. There are photographs around the room showing, in his full wealthy bachelor status, obviously his better days. There's photographs of him launching grand ships, thick black hair, tousled wind, crystal eyes, smiling. You could be correct in assuming that photographs are this guy in the wheelchair's son.
Or taken a long time ago.
Detective Keegan introduces himself, and Arkwright, Mrs. Geddes, would you be so kind as to fetch these guests refreshments? And she nods her head and she leaves you men to it. McKeegan begins with a number of questions, asking about Lucy Siddon's work that she does at the house, why she would be out of the middle of the night. Arkwright replies that he has no idea, errant foolishness, the young girl to leave the house nights ago. Seems to be sure no one had any motive to murder her, saying that she was a fine maid, never any trouble, never talked back, good at her job and pleasant enough, kept the bedrooms tidy and clean and was no trouble. The detective writes notes, and there's a suitable pause. Are any questions?
I'll say then, good sir, did you know she was pregnant at the time of her death?
Sorry, you will answer that question, but asked if it seems sane.
Yes. Does he have zero sanity? Is he loopy?
Make a psychology roll.
I look deep into his eyes.
I'm going to guess he'll be sharp as a pin.
And fail.
Well, his eyes are quite, they're clear and bright. But you're not sure whether he's mad or not.
Yeah.
He seems to be quite responsive, quite attentive and speaks quite well and answers without any pauses or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Cool.
But you mentioned Lucy
Pregnancy.
Siddons's pregnancy, and
Yeah.
there's an immediate expression of shock and dismay on his face. But how? She never. I didn't know. I had no idea. Make psychology rolls.
Success. 69, dude.
He seemed
Sweet.
genuinely upset by the news that Lucy was pregnant.
Okay.
But now that it's mentioned, the pregnancy, he's become a little bit more quieter in his replies to your question. Seems a bit less receptive to questions.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
a follow-up question would be: Did did she have any well, a
Boyfriend.
husband, a boyfriend, someone she's engaged with? Is she courting someone, or like that you know of?
A lover, perhaps.
As far as I'm, she had no relationships like that.
Can I get a can I get a psychology roll on that?
Did you make a psychology roll already?
Yes, but that was for like to
So
see if she was aware of the if he was aware of the pregnancy, and this is more to
okay.
see
Make another psychology roll. All right.
if he knows she was sexually involved with someone. And that's a failure for me.
Do we both get to roll that?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah,
Since
go
I'm
on.
trying to get to his mind.
Go on.
A fail.
Any other questions?
Well, how does he react to that?
He said, as far as knew, she didn't have any relationships of that nature.
Yeah. And I'll say, it would look really bad that one of your staff had been murdered in such a way. I mean, people are going to think that you're involved somehow. Do you have any defense as to why this girl was out at this time
Like
on
I
her
said,
own?
I have no idea why she was out. Why she left the house 2 nights ago.
As he's saying that, as we are asking these questions, the other maid Getz, who was clearly emotional and
Mrs.
wrecked.
Geddes,
Yeah, Mrs. Getz. Does she like shock? Like I know the answer, but he doesn't.
she's not in the room. She's
Oh,
getting refreshments.
I thought she would be back already.
Yeah, I suppose so. But she doesn't mention anything.
Okay, but
She just stands discreetly in the back.
okay.
Okay, you're a man of you have money. You're in control of your staff. Is there any reason why she would have been out of your house around those times?
I have no idea, young man. No idea.
Does she have a room here? Maybe personal belongings? Does she stay in the house, or does she have her own apartment somewhere in this region?
She has a room upstairs in the servants' quarter.
And
Oh.
she has carte blanche to just walk out when she wants to.
Yeah, she's not a prisoner.
And she doesn't have to tell you. I mean, she's you employ her. She doesn't have to tell you why she's leaving or where she's going at all.
Well, I'm sure if she had a good reason, Mrs. Geddes would be notified. And he looks over to Mrs. Geddes.
So Mrs. Geddes would know her whereabouts and why she would leave the building.
I suppose so.
Okay. Do you mind if we talk
the-
to Mrs. Getz?
You notice Detective McKeegan was about to ask a question.
I'll shut up and let him.
Would it be possible to see Lucy's room, Mr. Great? And he weakly waves his hand to Mrs. Geddes. Mrs. Geddes will able to take you up to see her room.
Nice.
And she said, "This way, gentlemen." And she leads you up the stairs, the servants' quarters, which are in the attic. So on the way up there, you pass by a sumptuously decorated dining room, beautifully panelled library, before walking through the kitchen to the tiny stairwell. And the further you go up, less opulence is found. In the servants' area, whitewashed and lit by bare electric bulbs. The creaking stairs leads to the top of the house, where Mrs. Geddes takes you to a room looking over the garden. It's a very small room. It's no more than 10 feet by 5 feet wide, with a tall dresser standing near a thin window overlooking the back garden. There's a small bedside table and a chair to the left of the narrow single bed, and a brightly coloured floral blanket folded at the foot of the bed is the only thing in the room that seems to bear some.
Somewhat.
The only thing in the room that bears some personality.
Okay.
Blanket. Bed.
Wanker.
Detective McGeegan has a look, walks over to the desk and has a cursory check at the desk, the dresser, and the bed. And
Where's the pillow?
Mrs. Geddes just stands by the door, waits for you to your investigation.
How good of an investigate does the officer do on her desk? I want to check I want to see his spot hidden.
Okay.
Is he looking properly? Is he just like glancing?
Oh,
Is he
okay. No.
investigating really well?
Make a spot hidden roll.
McKeegan will be doing his best, even if he fails.
I rolled another 69.
Dude.
Is that a success?
Yes.
He's quiet about his work, but he does seem to be looking intently.
Is he looking everywhere I would look?
He does. And he actually pulls out a little book, which on close from the drawer of the dresser.
Looks like a diary.
It does. Yeah, on closer examination, it is.
As he pulls that out, I say, "Mrs. Geddes, will you just remain here a minute, please? Stay with us."
Of course, sir.
Thanks. And I just let the officer read the diary.
Okay. He skims through it and sort of shakes his head and makes a expression on his face, and then looks up, sees that you're watching him, and he passes the diary to you, Merlin.
I'll have a skim through the last few entries.
Yeah. You read an increasingly nervous Lucy, desperate for a solution to pregnancy. She's convinced that she will be released from Sir Gregory's service and disgrace her family if he ever found out. But there's no names or anything like that. Oh, wait a minute.
So
could we backtrack a bit instead of looking at the last few pages, going all the way back like 5, 6 to 8 months before
Yeah,
last few pages.
I'll look at that once I remember. When we looked at that fetus in the autopsy, how many months did it look? Like, was it like a 5-month-old fetus? Was it
I'm
like
trying to remember,
two-
seeing if I wrote
2
it
months, I
down.
think it was.
2 months?
Three,
Was it 2?
no, 3 months if
3 months. There
3
you go.
months ish. He said.
So I'll pass the diary.
Hold on. The only thing that stands out from the diary is this. I'd like to read it out in game handout. Unless you want me to.
I'll do it.
Wait,
I don't know
who's
what to
reading
do.
it?
Oh, I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to do or who to talk to. I can't go home. I can't leave Arkwright House. I'm terrified Sir Gregory and the others will notice. I'm really trapped. I broke down today, Mrs. Getsky or whatever. I don't know how, but I had to tell someone, and she always been so good to me. She promised not to tell Sir Gregory, thank God, and she understood about my family and said that she would try to help. I only hope she can. The baby is starting to show more and more, and I don't know what to do. I caught Sir Gregory and the doctor looking at me queerly today. I almost ran from the room. I got to do something, but what? What? Oh, well. This.
Make spot hidden.
Failure.
Merlin. I mean, yeah, Merlin.
Oh, all of us.
Yeah. All of you in the room.
Fail.
In that case, while you're reading the diary, Detective Keegan bends down. He seems to have spotted something between the bed frame and the wall behind the tiny desk, and pulls out a slip of paste, a slip of paper. It seems to have slipped between the two, between the bed
A
frame.
slip of paper has slipped out.
Oh, sorry.
It's the same thing.
Technology, eh?
Don't know
There
what
we
to do.
It seems to be a haste. He looks at it and then he passes it to you, Merlin. Seems to be a hastily written phrase. The handwriting is deeply impressed into the paper and appears to be that
Of
oh, it's a woman in a woman's handwriting. I don't know how you got it out, but there you go. without having the relevant skills, but there you go.
Graphology at 100%.
Huh.
I think perhaps it's the use of a capital letter in the middle of lowercase words.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, that's what he finds and passes.
Something my mum used to do.
But it is deeply impressed in the paper.
Okay.
And they're her D's. Her D's are very distinct.
Is it the same handwriting as the diary?
And the tipping of the E.
No.
No.
Really?
Different handwriting.
Handwriting.
Even
the cynic in me says maybe they use the same handwriting type font for the two handouts.
Yeah.
What's a cunning stunt?
A stunning what?
They don't look similar at all.
Hunt.
Anyway,
They do look
it
similar.
doesn't appear to be the same handwriting diary anyway.
No, the R's are different.
All of that, no, each of those E's, you have a look at the E's and they're tipped. Every single one of them is tipped. Like
It
tipped
doesn't forward, appear
rolled
to be
forward.
the same handwriting.
And the D's, every single one
Forget
of
it,
them.
Mark. It doesn't seem to appear to be the same handwriting.
I'll toss the red herring out of the room.
Oh, anyway, I will turn to Miss Geddes. Is that her name?
Geds.
Geddes. You seem to have known that the lady was pregnant. Am I wrong? I'll say to her.
She quickly glances over her shoulder back into the house, towards the interior of the house.
In case the old man had wheeled his wheelchair up the stairs.
Yeah, just in case.
Don't disrespect the officer here in the room. And I look at what's his name, Officer
Keegan.
She just
Keegan.
she bursts into tears. On the initial question, how are you approaching this? What social skill are you going to be using?
I will be using
Not you intimidate.
yeah, hold on, I need to check that. Yeah, not my intimidate.
Anything but that.
Anything but that. Persuade. I say
Right,
there's an officer of the law here. It'd be best if you disclose anything you
That's
know.
intimidation.
make a
That's not
persuade.
intimidate.
Make a
That's
persuade roll.
intimidate. Then you better fucking tell me before I
That
beat
was
the shit out. Yeah.
frighten the hell out of me.
Persuade is you better talk to the law now.
Okay.
Nah, better is a threat. You better.
You should then.
Okay.
I succeed.
It would be most helpful if you did.
So she sort of she composes herself. She the right ungodly act. She should never had to. Hold on. She should never have had to go that night.
What? Speak
She
English,
shouldn't.
woman.
She shouldn't have gone there that night.
She should never have gone there that night. To go that she had. Lucy should never
I
have
look at
had
Irvin
to go
like
that
I'm
night.
confused.
She should never have gone there that night.
Aye. My apologies to all
Oh no, it's fine.
Scotsmen out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've put it into broad Glaswegian, haven't they? She should never have gone there the night.
The poor wee child was with she was with child and she was soon to show. She was with child and
Was going to start showing.
soon to show.
Backstreet abortion.
It wouldn't do, you know. You see, I knew Sir Gregory wouldn't have had it. Not in this house. He'd have her gone like a shot, and she'd be disgraced. She was a lovely lass, and there wasn't anything for it. I spoke to that Dr. Cullen when he was here last, and I said he must, and he said he must, and I said he must help our wee Lucy. Later that day, the doctor called on the telephone and arranged it. He said it'd be fine. And at this point, she just becomes inconsolable with grief.
Cullen's our doctor. Don't forget, McCullen is the doctor that we saw about.
It's not McCullen, it's Cullen.
Oh,
Dr.
it's not.
Cullen. There is no one McCullen.
Oh, yeah, right. Dr. Cullen. James. Ooh.
And she breaks down and becomes inconsolable.
Here, woman. Are you saying your employee never knew this maid was pregnant?
Correct.
He would have, if he'd have known, he would have had her out with no job.
Of course, and there's no way in hell that he was the father.
It would be impossible. Have you not seen the state of
Wait, say that in English, please.
it?
Are you crazy, young man? Have you seen the state of him? It would have been impossible.
Yes.
I have no idea who the father.
Are you telling me she never confided in you as to who got her pregnant?
Yes, I am.
Did she have any friends she might have told?
No, all she had was us.
All she had was us.
Okay.
Did you know that she was going to a certain location to have the baby removed?
Well, Dr. Cullen said that he'd arranged it.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
written down the location and time on a slip of paper and given it to the wee lass.
GRI, Glasgow Royal Infirmary, rear doors, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
She was to come to the rear doors of the infirmary. That was the last time that I'd seen her alive. And she breaks down again.
That was a really crap abortion. I mean, that went dreadfully wrong, didn't it? It started off well.
But the location of the body, where the body was found, was nowhere near the infirmary.
Oh, well,
Yep.
of course not.
But we did have a newspaper article stating that they saw 3 werewolves heading to the cathedral, or was it hospital?
Heading over the Bridge of Sighs.
Yeah.
So that's going from the necropolis cathedral.
Can I just point out that I discovered how sharp the knife was that made that first incision? An extremely sharp knife. Gee, who has those?
Yeah.
Butcher.
Also,
Yeah,
serial
so are
killer.
scalpels. So are scalpels.
Model maker. Housewife.
Candlestick maker.
A baker.
Knife collector.
Yeah, but none of those have been inferred in this particular formula.
Meanwhile, Thaddeus, Robert, and Elizabeth, you're on your way to the Arkwright house for your after police interview. After police.
Yes, we're hoping to cross over so we can have a quick word with them on the way in.
Okay, so you're outside. So
The ground's slightly
you're outside the house. Can I have spot hidden rolls from you guys as you approach the house?
Oh yes, of course. Okay.
And spot hidden rolls for those in the room as well, please.
Not that I need the tick anymore, but yes, I spotted that. I spotted them.
I
The
passed.
credits.
I failed, but I already have a tick. So once again, I looked completely the wrong way.
No, Daddy's over here. Let's check this out.
Thaddeus just gets credits back of the head.
Yeah.
And we all watch it happen.
To be continued.
My eyes are up here.
Thaddeus, look out for those credits. They're about to smack you on the back of the.
What crit bottle that?
All right, guys. I'll sign us off.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
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 Now the night is done, darkness drifts away, enlightenment shines intervening. Life now conveyed, a mere masquerade, cloudless my mind sees. Spirit now withdrawn, this figure fades away. Vanquished, my soul cries out screaming, condemned to a plight, to terrorize the night as a violet light faintly gleaming. The most merciful thing in the world is blindness towards reality. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal, life infernal, madness is my destiny. And who was I to strive for more than men should know? We're all oblivious souls in the cosmos that's all aglow. In an everlasting state, the world I contemplate, fear's just of the flesh and it poisoned man long ago. The most purposeful shroud in the world, credence in the Trinity. False perception, deep deception led to my insanity. Dreams eternal,